So are you good, Christine, with keeping that at 3,500 next year?
I think that we'll be okay.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
we've had several people who would call and ask for applications, but as soon as you tell them that you want 3 consecutive pay stubs and 3 months worth of their bank statements, they don't follow through.
Okay.
So other people call for applications, yes, but they don't want you to dig into their expenses.
What is the majority of the expense for?
For that one, for this year, a lot of it went for somebody that we had in town who ended up having back surgery, and we paid 2 months worth of her rent. We didn't pay the full rent, we only paid half of it on each month. We paid $900 for each month towards the rent, her rent was $1,800.
And there was another one, that person was, we had to place them in a hotel.
We had, somebody who lived in the town, at someone's home or whatever, they considered a Middleton resident, we had to place them into a hotel, motel, whatever it was, for a number of days until they got them into a homeless shelter. And fuel assistance is 1,500, and we used 309 of that, and that was to help that same person with fuel.
So who can apply for the fuel assistance?
Through us,
Yes.
if you have a cutoff or whatever you have going and you're in desperate need of assistance, and I'm like, I don't even know how that got that far out of control for electric. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was ridiculous. They didn't want us to get hit their finances and never follow it.
Well, a lot of times with the electric bills too, if you have a medical condition, oh, I don't. You can, your doctor can fill out a form, and then it like helps out with the electric company. They have some program
Yeah.
where it covers it, so. Community action.
A lot of times it's a community action thing, it's not us.
So you're good with the 1,500?
I am.
Okay.
Do you have, does someone who gets, that we do that for, they have to pay it back?
So they will sign a paper, and it's in the packet, that we may find them responsible. But if they're renting, I'm gonna tell you right now, you'd be going after the landlord, not them. And 9 times out of 10, you'll find, and I've talked to Dave and Todd about this, is the towns usually don't get their money back. Because the town has funded that money, but unless it's continuous or there's circumstances that you feel that you want the money back, you don't get it back. Mileage, I have 100, I use 0 of it, so 100 for mileage is fine. Welfare salary, I guess I'm $4,659.72. I think I put in for a 2% on when I had to submit some budget. We had to submit something way back for you guys. And I'm not sure what that would come to, I'm sorry to say.
Well, I can tell you what it would be.
How many applications do you get?
It'd be 4,752.91.
Okay. How many applications? It varies, to be honest with you. I think I denied one this year. And I probably had 5 or 6, maybe 7. I would have to check. I have them right inside. We have filing cabinet on top of the town hall. And everything's like all of my notes I keep. So any conversations I'm having with them, everything's jotted down. It's not horrible, but I've jotted down notes for everybody I speak with. Even if they don't follow through when somebody calls me, I have notes on that person and their names in the file.
So you had 5 or 6.
Applications, but that doesn't mean that I have something more people.
Oh, that's okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that you have. I'm just wondering how it gets to almost $5,000 in salary for
So I took home $154 of each week because I have taxes and stuff taken out. I have regular people's homes before, help pick up applications and whatnot, and that's my gas money. I don't even claim right there. And to be honest with you, it's not like I'm making a lot of money, but to let me know when I don't know what to say.
So you're on salary now?
She's stipend.
Correct. Stipend.
She's a stipend.
Gotcha.
We also have to
Why is
keep,
That makes more sense, I get it now.
What, on?
Why is that line over? Right.
I think it's because of the way the salaries run this year. I have to take a look at that.
That's what I wondered.
Yeah.
well, and I think that's been the question all
It
year.
has, yes.
But with our stipend employees, we also have to keep track of their hours because
I don't.
she could literally have like nothing all summer long, but come fall and winter, if she's working up to so many hours, if that stipend doesn't equate out to at least minimum wage, the town can get into trouble, according to the Department of Labor.
So how many hours have you worked this year?
Honestly, I mean, I check the phone 6 to 7 days a week. I'm either returning calls, I'm checking my emails. I still have to respond to people, like fuel assistance I got in here. When did they come in? November?
Yeah.
I got fuel assistance to come out from Dover. So I mean, I'm trying to make a difference. How many hours do I actually work? I would have to look at my papers. But do I write down every specific thing that I do when I'm on? So sometimes I do when it's detailed, but I'm actually doing an application. And there are times I just put, 20 minutes or 5 minutes just to check the phone.
So who actually checks the hours to make sure?
It's up to the selectmen,
Okay.
because they're signing off on the checks.
So have the selectmen.
And I submit it every 2 weeks because they're due bi-weekly.
It would stick out if she was working in, an ungodly amount. I mean, and I'm sure if she was inundated, you would let us know, Christine, if it was like, oh my gosh.
Because there's times when I'm really busy, like I didn't expect to be busy, what was it, in July or September. I was pretty busy helping this woman who was having surgeries and stuff, and I was having to go to her house because she couldn't drive, she couldn't do anything. She was literally laying on her couch. So I spent some time there, and I had to help her with, getting everything to me or delivering everything to her because she had nowhere to do it. Or she sent her sister in so I could copy things. Do you know what I mean? So, and I believe I documented all in my time.
Well, I'm not questioning you.
Oh, I'm
I'm just wondering how many hours are actually put in.
I just brought it down, it's all in my time.
Is there, would it be easy enough for you to just add it up on your time?
I mean, if they asked me to, I could. But I guess I just submit the time card like I'm asked to. I just call it done.
Well, she has to submit, everybody has to submit a time card for Department of Labor to keep track of hours, especially the stipend employees like Carl, Christine, we've got a handful of others. They have to have the time card because if Department of Labor, anybody ever filed a complaint, Department of Labor came and investigated and they said, where are the time cards to show what these people are working? Town would be in trouble and they'd be fined.
But my first time, I wasn't doing something.
So can somebody check? Would that be?
That would be the selectman, or the selectman secretary can go and get the information and give it to the selectman, and then they can report back to us with it.
Okay. Do we, who is the selectman secretary?
Okay.
Kim?
Okay. Can you do that?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Go through and find out how much time she spent
How much
on
time
that.
she put in the year? I'm not questioning whether you actually worked the time.
Certainly
or not.
sounds
I'm just
like it.
looking at the hours.
And I mean, they should be reading office anyway.
And then you also have to keep in mind, like, I mean, if you're thinking that's too much money, you've got to keep in mind of who's going to take that position and be pretty much on call 7 days a week,
Right.
365. So if she gets a phone call tonight,
I'm not coming on Saturdays to meet people to give them allocations. That people isn't this.
you know, if she,
I'm being forthcoming with you. It's not that I'm just doing this Monday through Friday, because I do have another job and work as a paraprofessional at the school district. So this is my second job, and honestly, I don't know what to say. I mean, I do need people on the weekends to make sure they get applications. You check that, and you'll see that on the weekends.
Is that just because they can't, or you can't meet during the week, or is that
It's
because?
what is convenient for them a lot of times. A lot of times, you have people who are working and they're doing the best they can. And I waited a half an hour before December, trying to get, and I, you know, they needed the application. And so I waited a half an hour, if I was a half an hour. So, I mean, like I said, if you check my time cards, and you go back to it, but I've always gone to that. Okay.
How long have you been in this position? Gosh.
3 years.
3 years?
Have I been here that long?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're like 3 going on 4.
I didn't know, I've been here almost.
Okay.
And she also has to be able to respond to the so if I call her up and I say like, I have no food in my house that I can't afford to buy groceries, like I need assistance. If I leave a voice message, I don't know if there's an RSA or whatever it is, but the rule is, it's like she's gotta respond back within, I think, 24 hours?
24 hours since you get back to them. And then I think as long as I'm leaving a message, or if nobody's answering, you don't have something, like leaving a message there, I still would document in my notes and stuff that I called.
Right, but every week you're working a certain amount, like.
She's
no
doing
minimum-
something.
No minimum than 5 hours, you're answering calls, so,
Yeah.
right, you know, so I don't, it's $8, $9 a week.
So that,
No,
Okay,
that's,
I
yeah.
still have the
The
cell phone, which
Oh, cell
you
phone.
guys pay,
Yeah.
which is $480, and you guys have used $248.76 to date.
248.
The only thing,
$248.76.
because I still haven't gotten
And that's still, is that the prepaid
October,
thing
November,
still?
and December in.
Like-
So you guys, so she.
The reason why that amount is a little bit lower is because I have not inputted October, November, and December's yet.
Okay.
So it's higher?
No, for her cell phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
that's what I'm saying, so it's higher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was the 279 or higher than the 279.
If she's saying 248, we want here 279.98.
Because what is it usually, about $32 a month?
40.
I
It's
have
like
to
40.
say bill.
No, it'd be like 40.
Because I get the phone from you guys.
$40.
Right, it's whenever you
It's
put
like
minutes on.
$40.
I come to you because that's something that happens for you guys. I don't put minutes on.
It's like $40 a month,
Yeah,
so you're gonna add
Yeah.
120,
right.
so, yeah, it's
Yeah.
on.
And so it drives me up down as a dollar because I take what I need from the call.
Good. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
So, I guess planning board is next. So for the planning board, the plan is to keep everything exactly the same. You'll see that we haven't spent everything yet. We're working on a contract with Stratford Regional right now. They're gonna write one up for us and send it, so we can
See ya.
lock in and,
What numbers?
4191. It's,
So Christine, you're keeping the same numbers from last year?
yes.
you gotta keep a flat line budget.
Well, yeah, we're gonna keep it flat and the same. We lucked out this year, because a lot of the changes that are going forward are changes that are coming from the state, all of the state mandates. And with those state mandates, there was a grant, that Stratford Regional Planning, got, so we were able to, get in on that, so that saved us a bit of money. So that's why, you'll see that, oh, you didn't spend much money, do you really need it? But we will be needing it moving forward.
I believe we'll have another bill be coming through the Stratford Regional Planning line.
Okay.
I believe we've spent more than the 2,500 that it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Robin had said that there was like like a little over 7,000, but that might be different once you get that invoice.
Yeah.
But
So you don't think even with that you'll need any changes?
no, because I'm hopeful that we can sign the contract with Stratford Regional and use up the rest of the money that we have for this year. And then for next year moving forward, whatever else we need to spend, what we have will cover everything. And then if, God forbid, there's any more horrible mandates, maybe the state will throw some grant money at us, seeing so they're making us go through all of this. Because with those mandates, we have to update our ordinances and we have to put them on the ballot and vote on them. So we still have to go through the financial burden of doing all of that, even though it's a mandate.
And there's, I think, at least 5 or there's gonna be probably 7 or 8 that are gonna be on the ballot.
Yeah.
It's crazy, I don't know where it changed, because mandates are supposed to come on the check, you know? It's like, you're gonna mandate something, you gotta have a purse string behind it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, because who's gonna monitor all these things that they're putting in place on small towns?
So, we're hoping that we can kind of keep everything flat, finagle everything that we can to look after the best interest of the town and not spend any extra. That's the goal, so, easy peasy.
So we still want to keep the dollar in the newspaper ads, keep that open?
Keep that open. Right now, according to like RSA, we don't have to have any kind of notices put into the newspaper,
Which is different than the ZBA.
which is different from the ZBA. But keep that open just in case something crazy changes or we down the road need to. We're not having to add a line in the future.
Right.
That line's already there and we can add to
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, so I'll speak to the town clerk one. So we'll start, so that's 4140, starting on that line?
Is Roy not coming in?
I don't think so. We had talked about, he and I had talked about what the numbers were. Well, some of this would be from supervisors, like the town meeting. I think we'll keep that flat line at 200. Of course, we haven't had to use it in the past, but you never know if we can getting a charge for that. The moderator, I think, is gonna be 900 because we'll have to have 3 meetings. We're gonna have 3. There's gonna be there's gonna be town meeting, September, and then November. Voting.
Oh, primaries.
Yes, primary, thank you. The supervisors, this one is at $12.75. This one I might need help with you on, Bonnie.
Yeah,
How much do the supervisors get paid?
the supervisors are 150 now.
So it's $150 and up?
There's 3, but they only had 2 today, talk to you. No.
So
Okay.
if you did 3 times 150 times 3, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be $13.50. Did I do the math right on that? 3 times 150, yeah. So instead of being $12.75, it'd be $13.50. fix. Okay.
So do the supervisors get paid a different amount for town versus school?
No. Ballot clerks get paid differently, supervisors get paid differently than ballot clerks.
So supervisors, how many sittings will you have to do? You have to do at least 3.
That's right.
Okay, so,
Well, no, they have to do one every quarter now, I believe it is. It's either every 3 months or every 4 months. That they have to do a sitting now.
so then that
That
would
went
be
into
potentially
effect
4.
last year.
So that could be potentially 4 sittings. So then that would be 1,800.
Yeah.
Plus they have to be at,
But for the, no, wait, so for the sitting, they only get, for sitting, I think it's $30 that they get now. No, 25. I
Andrea
think
had
it's
given me
25 now
this.
that they get for sitting. It was 20, I think it's 25.
So for
now.
a sitting, so if we said a sitting was $50, we'll just call it that for now.
Yeah.
So that would be 3 people, but you don't have 3 people per
They
sitting.
don't
You only have to have 2.
3 people, most of the time there's 2, but it depends if they have all 3 and they're all working.
All right, so then that's your
It's just
sitting.
25
Then you
sitting.
have, but then you have your supervisor at your, at your voting, right? And how many of those up there? There's 2
3 supervisors.
There's always 3 at the sitting,
No,
at the
there's
voting?
not. It depends on if they have a third one or not. They've only had 2, but there should be 3. If not, if somebody's sitting in as a ballot clerk.
And those get 150.
Last I knew.
And that would be 3 because there's only 3 voting.
Right.
So if we did 3 people sitting 4 times, that's 50 times 50. And then do 3 people sitting at the 3 elections 3 times, that comes up to 1950. Good Lord, that keeps going higher.
I know.
If somebody doesn't agree with the math, let me know.
so the ballot clerk would be 1950?
No, the ballot clerk is next.
Oh, so
Ballot
super,
clerk is
supervisors.
$100.
so supervisors would be 1950?
Yeah. So the ballot clerks are how much?
100.
So it's equal, and how many, you only have 2
Usually a 2.
times 100.
Sometimes one of the ballot clerks is a supervisor, but it depends on if they have.
So that's 600, so that's 600, which is what's in there. That's what's in there, 600. The computer and software, that's an amount that's driven from Avatar, the 3778.
That's
Yeah.
an amount we already have.
Yes, we have gotten the software breakdown for the next year for the different lines. So there's assessing, there's clerk, there's collector, there is building inspector.
I was gonna say CEO. I got them all together.
So then there's the election supplies. I think that will remain flat at 250. We spent 178, so I think that's a good number.
We had more elections this year, so I don't know.
All right, never mind.
They'll need more supplies or not.
And then there's the voting work software updates. I think because we have 3 elections, it's gonna cost, it's like $600, I believe, an election, so that's 1,800. What a racket. They get to charge you to update your software to use the voting. I just think that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Advertising, that kept it at 200. We're in the collector now. Restoration of records, this we decreased down to 2,000 from the 3,750 because now that there's the preservation, the CRFS preservation fund, so this one decreased. Workshops and resources, that we overspent on that line, so from this year, so we're going with $1,000 on that line. Mortgage research, budgeted last year $1,250, $1,250. We didn't use anything, and I think that's partly because of the transition between the position. So, but we scaled that down to 1,000.
What is that line?
mortgage research, when, like, deeds change, when somebody buys property and stuff like that, or if we lien, we have to do a research too, because the town's gonna take the property. Sarah, you can,
It's for when the town takes property.
so.
Yeah.
And do we just not take any property?
Nope, we haven't done that.
I don't think we've leaned in a few years.
No, we haven't.
Which,
I mean, we
I mean,
should have.
shouldn't be in the business of taking property anyways. It's
No,
not
but we shouldn't
But
not leaning.
yeah.
Tax bills, we kept that at $350. And then the audit, we kept that at 20,000, even though we were almost 1,000 over, but I think that's part of that is, we just used it a little bit more, and I think we're in a good shape now to keep that at 20,000.
Now, question on the tax bills and stuff.
Yeah.
Where do we put the cost of like the envelopes and stuff that we have to buy to send the tax bills out? Is this specific ones?
I would guess maybe in there, resources, either workshops, resources and equipment,
Okay.
that line maybe.
Okay.
So then, if you jump down to the next section, 4150, which is the tax collector.
Wait, just 1 second. With the audit, it was 21,000 last year.
Yep.
What did you say was the reason? I didn't hear you.
We had some additional work that had to be done with the audit. And Jen came in and worked through that, this is a big reduction from, I think, the previous year, which I think we were at 35,000 the year before. So this is gonna be, and plus we will be moving over to the new system, MRI. So that should make it
That'd be
cleaner
huge.
with, tying out and.
So you suspect it'll be less?
Yes, I suspect it'll be under 20,000.
Okay.
It should be. So the next section is the 4150, which is the tax collector salary. That's just, the prior year salary, 29,924, which is a 3% increase. And, that's the number, it's being consistent with, actually, it's less than what the school is doing. They're doing 3.03, I think, percent. So, the deputy tax collector, that being flat line, that position was just filled at the end, near the end of this year. So if anything, that might need to be tweaked for like 2 months after the person's been here for a year.
That's $1,000.
Huh?
The deputy treasurer?
Yeah,
The
1,000?
deputy tax collector.
Tax collector.
Association dues, we kept that at 90. Recordings of the registry, kept that at 400. Computer software, this is going to be $3,054, that's again Avatar. Mileage for the treasurer, Tony submitted 1,800 for that, which is a decrease from the 2,000. Treasurer, this one was one we talked about the other night. This 10,400 was based on a stipend, used to be based on a stipend amount from last year when we first were heading into the next year. That position changed during the year, at the beginning of the year. It's become a hourly. So what's in there now is 15,375.36, and that's incorporating a 3% increase on the salary that we currently getting paid.
How many hours is the treasurer?
14.
14 hours a week?
Yep,
And how much?
it's 20, currently gets $20.50 an hour, so it's 3% increase on that times 14 hours times 52. That should get you to 15,375.30, if I can read that's blue in here.
I hate that blue.
I know,
Thanks a
sorry.
lot about
It's
saying.
it's $20 an hour, you said right now,
$20.50.
and 50 cents.
And then the deputy treasurer, which currently we don't have, but we have allocated $1,000 for that. That's for anybody, that's to fill in for when the treasurer's not
Sorry, can
here.
you go back to the mileage? What was the mileage again?
The mileage, 1,800, that's what Tony
I just wanna make
submitted.
sure.
Yep.
What does the treasurer have mileage for?
She goes to deposits for checks and money at the bank.
And we have to pay the mileage?
Yes.
We can't not pay it, you have to by Department of Labor.
Just going back to the, you had mentioned when we were talking about the audit, you mentioned MRI will be doing something that'll make it easier. What's MRI gonna do?
MRI is gonna be a new accounting software, which currently we have Sage, which is not very user-friendly. It's not,
Cloud-based.
it's not cloud-based, but it's not really, it's not municipality accounting. So we basically made it so to hit the square
We
peg in the
tweaked it.
round hole.
Yes.
And so MRI specifically works with municipalities so that things can actually be electronically transferred between tax collector, town clerk, with the state
It's all
and stuff.
integrated.
Yeah, it's all integrated with one another, so.
So MRI is a software or
Yeah.
is the company that?
It's a company, but it's the software we purchased from them. We call it MRI. It's probably called,
MTS is another one.
but it's the software that we're moving to, the
And
accounting software.
where is that? Is that the computer software line?
That would be up in the executive.
Did you guys already do the executive?
No.
Okay, that was
No,
last.
that would be up in the executive, up there, like computer support, 4130. We haven't got to that yet.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We'll go right.
Where are we going? Oh, Kate.
We're gonna,
Fundraising.
yeah, we're gonna let.
Conservation, so that is,
Were you just discussing the software for the accounting?
Yeah.
You wanted to replace?
yeah,
It's gotta be done. You've had that accounting system since.
Too long.
yeah.
And it's not user friendly. You don't know where you're at in real time.
And.
And it
and what-
doesn't.
And what will happen with the new accounting software is department heads and chairs will have access to the software so they can run
Their own reports.
their own reports, so they have it at their fingertips. With a read-only.
Read-only.
Yeah.
So conservation is 4619 section, just to let everybody know. It's to be on the last page.
Come on up.
Hope everybody's drive was safe.
Where you are, I'm not getting home.
Although what's in the fridge, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Nice cheese.
Whenever you're ready,
Whenever
Kate.
you're ready.
Go for it.
All right, well, we cut money off our budget, so you wouldn't have to. We brought it down to
26.
2652, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just say, Kate, the conservation office supplies, I think we have $1 in there. We're gonna get rid of that line because that'll just be absorbed in one of the other office supply lines up above.
Okay.
And then I think you had $1 for something else.
Tanglewood, I'd like to keep that open.
Okay, so we'll keep that one. That one's,
Thank you.
that's not on anybody's thing,
Oh,
so we
it's
will
not
add
on
it.
What is it?
Fine.
Tanglewood,
It is a budget, I can,
Kate, what's that, what's it, 4619 what? Tanglewood is what, dash?
07.
07.
Okay.
thank you.
So then makes it
It'll be
26,
26.50.
51, right?
It'll be
2552. No,
26.51.
26.51.
I was taking $100 off.
We could do that too, Kate.
No.
How much is going into town?
1 minute, I can't, I don't know why is this not working? Tank $1.
So-
It's going to use $1.
Well, you requested this budget back in September, and it was kind of a challenge, because most of our expenditures had not been made. And there's still a few outstanding expenditures that have not been made as well on this, so. And that would be, it's not that many actually, unless John has some, but, our line for, is Society of Preservation of Natural Forests, which is a pretty important part of our town because they have the Moose Mountain Preservation. And what else? History. Our budget used to be $5,000. So don't
Great
say
job, Kate.
So don't say we don't think about people and taxpayers and have like we try to get to a zero balance budgeting, but of course, there's some certain line items like legal fees, so tough. And maybe, does anyone know, we used legal fees like 2 years ago, and I think it was $250 for 15 minutes. Is it?
Yeah, it's not cheap. I don't know off the top of my head.
What else?
Oh, yeah.
The workshops, I really would like to have that at $120 because it costs me $60, and it would be nice if somebody else wanted to go, so they didn't have that money for that budget. And we've expended almost all of our water testing money, which is nice, because it's not easy to get that done, but we got it done. And are reaching out to people for the Sunrise Lake Water Advisory Committee. Unfortunately, we still have a little bit more money in that account than I'd like, but our, unfortunately, Cindy, who had been doing our brochures, passed away, so we did not get every brochure we did not get this year that we had previously. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, Kate.
No?
You know, well,
Yeah?
Thanks, Kate.
She doesn't.
Nope.
That was easy.
I would have found it anyways if it did.
Carl's on his way over, so he should
Actually,
be here soon.
what is the lake assessment program?
That's volunteer lake assessment program, that is the water quality test.
Water
So we'll
quality
go out
test,
with a
okay.
biologist on one test,
Yep.
and
Is that the one you, John, and I went and walked around?
no,
Did, or
now,
is that different?
that is totally different. But that is E. coli testing that has to do with the grant that John got for
For our
replacing,
project.
it's replacing that culvert and trying to pinpoint if and where we have that E. coli. I can't think of the word. It's not poisoning.
Contamination.
Contamination.
And we have to figure out
Yeah.
what
And
E. coli.
they have, she hasn't had any positive results, but I haven't seen the final report.
Well, the numbers were going up, they just weren't bad enough to shut everything down. Last I remember, that was the beginning of the year, or the season.
And then they had just done one because of no rain. She had done one in October, so I hadn't seen those. Yeah. That E. coli testing is all done under the grant. Well, we also did some on our testing, but that's around the lake at certain spots.
Just curious, because I saw that went down from 840 to 750, so just.
840. Oh, 750, that's because you had cut our budget last year, and then I had asked at the town meeting to have that money put back in, and we put back in almost all of it. Yeah.
So 750 you should do for this coming year.
Well, that's what we want.
We don't know if testing is
We-
gonna
we
go
s-
up, do we? Like the
The
cost?
testing hasn't increased in a long time. We still have $40 in that line. And also, and if the selectmen are still gonna do it, we can take money from other lines and put that towards it.
Just curious.
I appreciate your question.
thank you.
Done? Should I stay?
Only if you'd like.
Well, I'd love to.
Then that's up to you. It's totally your decision.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah.
So you said Carl was coming?
He is, I messaged him.
Oh.
His start time was 6, and I told him,
Well, we can
we're
go-
running fast, so.
We can go to assessing. because I spoke with Robin about that. This is her these are her numbers. So 4152, bottom of the first page. So she's flatlined the assessor is 24,204, that's no change. The tax map update is 2,200, there's no change. The assessing software, this is 2742, this is Avatar. Workshops and dues remain at 500.
So the assessment software system went up and the GSI went up.
This, the what went up, the GSI?
GSI software, yeah.
Yes. GIS, that's, no, that's
That's a new
3,000,
line.
that's a new line, that's for the new, that's for the
Online.
new,
We're gonna be able to get our tax maps online?
yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. So that's a new
Middleton.
line that got added, that's being added for this year. That was, initially funded
Has that
through,
happened yet?
yes, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Alright, but the software went up.
yeah.
Avatar there.
Well, I think this, because last year, this wasn't split correctly.
Right.
I will tell you that the software was not split correctly between town clerk, tax collector, assessing, and code enforcement. This year, we did a much better job with breaking that out.
How much did the software cost go up total?
So if you look at,
Well, some of it's
Are you looking for
new.
just the assessor or all?
Well, if that wasn't split correctly, then there would have to be something else that went down, right?
yeah, it was, so if you look at, you'd have to look at, let's see, you'd have to look at line 4140 for the computer software and the town clerk line, which was 3,778, which last year we had budgeted 4,260, and this year it's gonna be 3,700, so there's your down, it went down to 3,778 because it wasn't split correctly.
Down 11%.
Then, if you look at the
Just going
computer,
back to that one really quick, the one you just mentioned.
yep,
It says the year to date is only 3,600, is that because? it's
because
not
that was over,
updated?
that line was over budgeted, because if you, when we get down to the code enforcement, you're gonna see that we didn't budget any software for that. But it should have been, that's gonna be, like, we've spent 1,233 in that line. And we didn't budget anything, that's line 4240.
Yeah,
But the overall, the software is increasing from last year.
well, that's for us payable for everybody.
Huh?
That's for everybody.
Yes, right, no, but I'm just saying, but it is, if you took the total software for all four of those lines and you compare it to this, it's an increase.
Increase of how much?
Off the top of my head, probably, I would say 14%. I don't know, I guess I
But
could.
those numbers that that are in our budget now are actual numbers?
In the column E, under where it says year-to-date actual,
No, for our budget for 2026, those are actual.
those are
numbers
what, that's what we're gonna be billed for next year, yes. Yep.
This year.
2026.
2026.
So
That's
17
next year.
1st.
Right, that's
Thursday.
next year, okay.
It's due on the 10th.
We pay that out at the beginning of the year.
Is that just like one lump sum?
Well, it's four different bills, because it gets split out between assessing, town clerk, tax collector, and then
So you get 4 bills and you pay everything at the beginning of the year?
on the
And then
10th,
it's
yes.
just done?
Yes, it's done for the year, yes. We don't pay that monthly, right? Do we pay that
No.
monthly?
No, the only monthly that we pay
Is
is
the
the
assessor.
15, 17 for,
The assessor, which is Avatar, which is Chad, his services.
yeah.
But if it was all paid at the beginning of the year, then the assessing software would have been paid already for this year. It hasn't.
What line are we looking at, sorry?
So the 4152,
4152. It probably didn't get allocated correctly, we'll take a look at that. It might be in another line here.
Cause we didn't have the codes that advertise.
Avatar in assessing has always been broken out. I only know that because I worked in assessing.
We can go and look and see, make sure it gets allocated correctly.
Yeah, cause
That was me.
we didn't have their codes like CA is gonna be for this.
Right, but the assessing portion of it has always been its own separate thing.
We can
I
look.
thought that assessing was paid at the end of the year, though. I thought theirs was always at the end.
No.
Well, we can take a look at that, so I'll just highlight there and we'll take a look, because that probably should be.
What one?
Page 2, top of page 2, the assessing software, well, that's assessing software support.
Yep.
The support, isn't that the 15-17 a month?
No.
It's
No, that would be
16.
the assessor, the 4152, we'll take a look.
Okay. I'm surprised CAI is not going up on you guys.
The 3,000?
Not yet.
Well, it was that first year.
Oh, it was CAI?
Oh, no, they're.
No, not with GIS. They'll get you too.
Oh, you mean the tax map update?
Yeah,
Well,
they usually,
we've only spent right now $1,100 on this, so we'll see.
which means you're missing 2 bills.
So, maybe. We need to get those in. All right. We're on 4240 is code enforcement.
I hope you get to read it.
So are you basing your pay at 4 hours a week?
At a minimum, it's more than 4 hours, but that's the 4 minimum, so every week it should be at least 4 hours of work.
Okay.
So what where are we starting at, the salary? So I think that line right there, that 6120 is just the prior years, or this year's, times 3%. 3% increase.
Carl, what do you have for salary for your budget this year? What do you have for salary in your budget this year?
What do I have for
He's
salary?
proposing,
What are you proposing?
Right.
There's a copy of it.
he's proposing $6,656. That would be 32 hours,
$32 an hour.
$32 an hour for, and it's a minimum
At a
of,
minimum of 4, so.
Yeah, but so if we were to do it that way and only budget for 6656, that wouldn't be able to do more than 4 hours a week, because you would blow that budget out of the water.
well, I think that's how you guys have it budgeted, is for 4 hours a week.
No,
Right.
that's just hours. That's just like.
It's supposed to just be
He's a stipend
but they-
position.
But they do it as like a salary to cover.
How many
the taxes.
hours a week are you working on average?
At least 4, every week it's at least 4, it's usually more like 8, but I don't expect it to be like double in a year.
So it's,
Do you submit a timesheet as well?
Not very good. It's very good.
Well,
We need to have.
that's a Department of Labor issue, but, because legally you're required to submit a timesheet even if you are a stipend employee. So you should get better on that, because it becomes an issue where if you're putting in a certain amount of hours, you know, if you do a certain amount of hours a week, depending on what your pay is now, if that puts you under minimum wage, that puts the town at,
Liability.
yeah, like that's a huge risk to the town.
But not only that, it helps advocate for your pay.
Yeah,
And
It's just-
it helps get you or whoever's in that position,
Position in the future.
the proper pay. Because it's like if you're realistically doing 20 hours, 30 hours a week, a couple of times a month, and we're underpaying that position, it's not I mean,
Technically contractually, you're just a stipend position either way.
it is a stipend position either way,
But
but,
it's-
But you still need to know what the hours are you're working to make sure you're not getting
Right.
paid less than
And then-
minimum wage.
And not only that, if the need is growing, then
Yeah.
at some point, the town would have to, the select board would need to look and see if it's something that needs to be more
Right.
than just a stipend position. So that, yeah, that should change. Okay.
I mean, the permits have increased. I mean, I think,
I
I think
gave
this
you a-
past month was like the lowest number.
Yeah, during the winter, it's gonna be low, you're gonna
Yeah.
have like HVAC and.
But I mean,
stuff.
just in the past year, how many new builds have we had? 10 or 12?
14,
12, okay, so. Yeah. So,
and I think there's gotta be at least 8 more expected on Bingham Road alone.
yeah.
And I gave a sheet on the back that shows what there is for income currently from the department.
Yeah. I mean,
So along with like code enforcement, getting permits and doing all that.
He's
are we
also a health
enforcing
officer.
any codes, like other things in town that are?
We've been trying to get rid of the campers. I'm meeting with Scott tomorrow to try to get the camper notices out.
So
I
then
can-
it's the
Right.
building inspector, and then there's the code enforcement. The code enforcement falls under the chief, police.
But it's the same.
Yes, yes.
Right.
It's the
So
same
I'm
one.
saying it's position in one.
In-house.
But like, we're mostly dealing with one position of getting the permits, but we're kind of lacking on the other.
And that's where
Because
Scott
that
is.
was over 2 years ago, those letters went out the first time.
Right.
And yet it still hasn't been
Yeah,
done.
because then
It's-
Scott had an issue with the legality of it, so he wanted to redo the whole process again now.
Well, I think too much time had lagged,
Yeah.
so. But Scott is overseeing that part of the
That part.
position.
And it's also health officer stuff too, which the town doesn't have much of. 'cause-
Yeah, from the health, we need that 3-point.
Say that again?
You get the email, we need to repoint our health officer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
no, I didn't see it. It must have just come in today?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that
It
needs to
says
go on. the agenda
reappoint,
for
and then,
next-
I tried to sign up
Reappoint a health
for
officer.
training
Yep.
for it like a month ago, and they had said that it was up for reappointment, so they didn't sign me up for the training.
Yeah,
It's
we-
not really training, it's more just saying, hey, I'm doing it for the town, but
Yeah, we got the email today saying that we need to
I saw
repoint
that
somebody,
too.
so. Oh.
it's said based off of this day
Yeah.
or something like that.
So we'll have to put on the agenda for Monday's meeting.
Yeah, Kim's gonna add that on there.
But what about like codes are we enforcing? Are you enforcing? Is that just the campers?
Campers, working with junkyards, working with people that
anything that's an ordinance, if it's not being followed, you should be enforcing it.
We should be.
fences,
Right.
setbacks, things like that.
So if somebody's in the Lake District and they have a 10-foot fence, they need to be getting a letter and
Right.
a knock on the door. Because it's,
So you're minimum 4 hours a week. but what-
That's just what the mandatory office hours.
No, those are the office hours. Those should be available to the public.
Those are guaranteed, there's gonna be at least 4 hours a week that has to be worked.
So that people have access to.
So realistically, you're doing more than 4.
Realistically, more,
Yeah, yeah, the 4 hours is just for him to be in the building for the public to be able to get access to him.
No, I get that, so make
No,
sure
I
that we've
mean-
got it out there.
And I typically try to get most of the paperwork done, because, really nobody comes in. I get like once a week somebody comes in or something, or someone tries to call during those hours, but.
So all your going out inspecting, all that stuff is outside of those 4 hours?
Not always, like, so somebody will call me in the morning and they'll say, so I'll run out and go do it real quick and then come back to the office if it's something that they want done real quick. Sometimes they will do that, but, it's few and far between.
But for the most part, when you go inspect whatever that is, it's
It'll be
permitted,
outside of those
it's
hours.
outside of those hours.
Usually. And then every day I check the emails and make phone calls back to the people and stuff like that, but.
So dues,
Dues and fees have remained the same.
okay,
For that.
workshops,
Workshops are all random, so it's like 1 year there might be a lot of workshops, and one year there might not be a lot of workshops. This past year, there wasn't a lot of workshops available to even do.
Do you think there's
So are
gonna
you
be a lot
keeping-
this year with all the changes that the
I would
state?
think that they were gonna have some more workshops. I tried to make it to that workshop for the changes. But it was just not gonna work for my schedule, but they just, and it wasn't really the code enforcement stuff or whatever, but it would still be nice. But
Yeah.
I think at least Robin was able to make it.
She did, yeah.
So we're gonna keep that at 200?
Yeah.
Supplies, what is that line for? Do you know?
If I need a printer,
Share.
printer ink,
Okay,
Any of that
so
kind of stuff.
we haven't spent anything this year, but you're gonna keep that, what's that gonna go?
if I have to get it, if the printer dies, it is not a very good printer.
Okay, no, but I mean, so are you keeping that flat line to 250? Okay.
Yeah, that way if there is something there, if I need to use it, because if I need to use it, there's nothing, then I don't have a printer, and I'm
Okay.
walking back
Yep,
downstairs.
nope.
Mileage?
Are you not putting in for your
No,
mileage?
he
or
isn't.
something?
Huh?
Too many people talking.
Do you put in for your mileage?
No.
You
You need to.
You do.
Yeah.
There's an app that you can get for your phone that tracks it. If that's helpful for you.
I tried using it. It was hard to do it because you had to it wanted to track me everywhere or something like that.
I mean,
I'm not very tech savvy, I have no idea.
I get it's not like you're not traveling a whole lot, like you're not traveling very far.
I mean, Middleton's pretty small, but still.
Yeah, it still needs to be that.
It would be
still needs
nice
to
for
come to.
you to truly track everything you do, not because anybody wants to sit here and micromanage you, but I don't think there's a true understanding of what your job entails and how much,
Right.
it might be 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there over the course of a day that equals out to be 3 hours. But until it's all written down and presented, nobody has that true appreciation for what the job is. And it's hard to advocate to get you more money or to properly fund this position for a future person if we don't have a clear picture of what it all entails. So I know it's hard and it's a pain, but it would be nice for you to be able to somehow either make a spreadsheet that you keep in the truck and
I was like, we have some spreadsheet for mileage and
Yeah,
for time codes and,
it's a lot to write down and everything, but I tried to do it. I did it for a little bit in the beginning of the year, and then submitted some of them in the I think it was the beginning of the year.
because I mean, even if you drove around, say if you were going from town office to my house, you could easily just pull up on the map how many miles, you don't
Right, it's an
have to look
estimate.
at your odometer. It's
Yeah.
you could go back and calculate it that way, but it's,
Right, because you know which houses you've been out to inspect, so you
Yeah.
could say, from the municipal building to that is
Yeah.
1 mile. And then-
Yeah, if you
and-
just
And
say-
you're in there each week,
And
just add it
give
up
the
on there.
address.
so
we can
for
put it in.
mileage, the mileage, I don't know how it is, or if there's an RSA or whatever for rules, but I know for one of my jobs when I traveled, everywhere I traveled, my start point was always my home base office. And so whatever office I went to, even if it was from my house to that office, I always had to say from Port Orchard to here. And so it was that. So I mean, is that how he would have to do it? Would be town office to this person's address? So that probably could make it easier for you.
Yeah, because then we could just pull up the mileage for you, Carl. If you put from main office to whatever
It's
Yeah,
address.
it's 180 Kings
that?
Highway to 314 Route 153.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, wouldn't that make it more difficult for you though?
No, because all you'd have to do is fill out, so
Go into
you
Google Maps.
and you could do you could submit it once a month, right? So you cover a whole month, say you do 20 miles a month, that's 20 times 0.70, and then whatever that equals, that's what you're
Well, I
getting
meant
paid.
it sounded like she was saying if I just gave an address.
I mean, in reality, it's not Kim's job to do it, it's your
Right,
job.
exactly. That's
So-
what I'm saying. That would make it more difficult if I was to just give an address. So.
Oh, well, no, but I mean, if you have your list of the addresses you
Yes, that's it.
visited, I mean, then you can just take it when you're in the office one night saying,
Put it on
okay, for
Google Maps.
180, And then I went to these 10 addresses and you just type it in and it'll tell you, oh, 1.2 miles, 1.6 miles, 2.5 miles. Oh,
I can help you
0.5
set that
miles,
up
or
too,
whatever,
Paul.
you know, and then it's just.
A better mileage sheet than we were using was out too.
That's what I'm saying, we'll,
Yeah, and
we'll
if-
create a
If
better
you can
worksheet
make one
for
up
you.
that works for you, and then
The old
you,
one was just like, because there's so many places, like the old one didn't even fit, it was like pages if I would actually use the one that was supposed to be.
Yeah, we can make a new one.
Yeah, so that's good.
Adapted to you.
And again, I agree with Christine, is like,
Same
we
thing as
want
a
a,
timesheet.
we want a true depiction of what we're spending in that department,
I
so
agree.
that we can, so
I
we can.
I don't disagree, it's just difficult to find
Well,
extra time.
and sometimes it's, yeah.
I
It's
think,
already
I think in the
not enough time
end,
to do what's in
I
there.
think in the end, putting forth that work, that time and effort and work to show that true picture helps everybody in the community to support that position, to say, oh, okay, this really is a need.
Right.
Because I mean, 13, 14 years ago when I first moved here, there probably wasn't as much of a need as there is now. I mean, hence 14 new builds in 1 year.
Well, it was, it would have been nice if it was taken care of then, so now it wouldn't be as bad off now.
Yeah, but I
It's-
mean,
I'm doing the same exact
unfortunately,
thing.
you have to
Yeah,
fix it,
no, I understand.
and it's gonna start from somewhere.
That's part of the decision, you gotta put your time in, so.
I mean, when I started, it wasn't that.
Yeah,
that
so
way, but-
electrical inspector salary, did you change that line?
No, that stayed the same.
So,
Peter hasn't asked anything else.
right, so I mean, from our standpoint, it would be a 3% because that's kind of what we were doing, so. Right there, it's 2,759.
How much has Peter had to do for electrical?
He just does electrical.
I know, but like, has he?
It's variable again, but he's just, on average, I was getting like 2 inspections a week out of him, if you include like the slow season versus the busy season. So I just budgeted at, the average inspector gets about $50 per inspection, if they do it like, per diem. So that's what I budgeted at, is $50 per inspection, and 3%, over the last whatever year, or whatever made it go up. And he's never complained about it.
No.
So, if he were to speak something to me, I'd bring it up, but he hasn't ever said anything. I don't think he cares about money really, but
No, we gave him a good raise last year, correct?
it's 2 years ago, I think.
I
So,
think that's
yeah,
the
so
only
we're
time he's
sticking
ever
with what
asked.
we're saying right now as a cost of living, but that's still to be discussed.
So, hold on,
What?
electric inspector salary, I had that last year at 2678, this year at 2678. Am I missing something?
That's because he didn't change
You
it.
didn't
It
change
didn't
it.
didn't
Right.
change from last year to
Right,
this year.
but he
It
didn't
was
put
2
in-
year, 2 years ago that changed.
He didn't
Okay.
put in, but I think.
So, okay, you didn't put in for a raise this year, correct? Okay. Just confirm it.
Right. But I think given what we've discussed so far, we're talking like a 3%.
I apologize, I didn't mean
No,
to-
that's
I just thought it was just
fine.
like a blanket
Nope.
thing for it.
What about cell phone, why'd that go up?
Because my cell phone plan that I had actually went up to get a stipend for the cell phone. So
Oh, how much do you have in there?
It was 600, now it's 720.
Okay, 720.
It just increased for $10 per line.
No, I didn't have these numbers, so.
Do you add minutes to your phone? Is that how it's put in?
Yeah.
or- Okay. Because do you, and that goes through, because you don't submit those to me, right, each month? Because I just pay you
No,
flat
no, you just-
50.
it was just a stipend that they had just determined.
Right.
4 years ago, they determined 50 was the number that they wanted to pay.
So if that's changing to 720, then it would be the stipend would change.
Yeah. What about receipts or, because I know Christine's, I have it comes in right
Yes,
on
we
the
should,
computer.
yes, we should have a receipt to support paying that check
Yes,
out.
we should.
Yeah.
That's only good
Is it a
accounting.
different phone, or is it the same, like your regular phone?
No, it's not my regular phone.
Is it the same Christine has?
It's a prepaid phone that I went and got. It would've been nice to get a better phone, but it's the best I could get with the $50 a
What's
month.
that number? I got that backwards, that's wrong.
They got a plan for like a prepaid flip phone, but it just wouldn't work for the position, so.
And then the software, that's based off of what they sent us from Avatar, so that's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be,
have that listed at 1250, believe 12.
it's 1283. That's what we were-
I just saw what it was the last time that they took it out.
So that's,
And I'm expecting, I've been told that they're gonna have an upgrade to Avatar software in June. That's gonna be allowing like online stuff to be getting integrated.
Oh.
So I just wanted to make sure that there was some money in the software line so that they.
they sent us the preliminary, the numbers for.
Because last year I think, or it was like a year or two ago, that was actually like fully taken out of the budget.
So,
Yeah,
we didn't
last year.
budget anything last year
Yeah,
because
'cause
we didn't know
it
what.
sounded like it wasn't gonna be another fee again, but it turns out it's every year, I guess.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a fee every year because it's for the, code, it's for the building inspector software, so that feeds right into Avatar. So it triggers them to know what to go out and to do an assessment on. Because, you know, we want our money.
Some
You're not
towns
taking
have
us.
changed to,
Oh, you wait.
there's some other
It's
one
coming.
that the towns have been doing, that's like cloud permits, and it allows
Yeah.
like them to submit stuff, email and pictures on there, and like all the contacts are shared through like a calendar, and Avatar's supposed to be having something like that happening. Which would be nice,
Yep.
make things a lot more communicated between the system and them. I think that's it for the budget line.
Yeah, that's it for you.
Great many lines. And that last sheet was just to show the income for the year. And then I have a couple permits on the desk that I gotta process, and that should get released after.
That revenue's good. Just so you know, there's a code enforcement workshop on June 16th next year.
Which is typically every year they have one in June.
Yeah.
Because I think Mike Green went to this one last year.
He
sat through.
He did because he
He
missed
was doing
our joint planning and zoning.
It's hybrid too, so it wouldn't have any,
So,
you can do it over Zoom.
Yeah, and then they have the other one, usually every year for the code. But this past one, they did the exact same presentation as they did in the past.
Oh.
They did get something last year. Can't remember what it was.
Write those things down would help, like, coming from the corporate world, if I just walked into my boss and said, yeah, I don't know what I did, I don't know how long I worked for, I'm not getting a raise, I'm not getting a promotion from a corporate world.
No, I agree.
Like, I understand from mine, you know what I mean, like, that's mine.
Even in the municipal
Right,
world,
yeah.
you're
So
not, it's
that's
not.
why I think I have the hardest problem is when
My
I go
reviews
give
are like
my
32
employees
pages long.
a raise at any
it's one
level.
page, we have quarterly
If I don't know what they
check-ins.
did, I know what they did all day. But if they haven't
now
taken
to
any extra courses or, logged down everything they've done, you mean that's in their job, and tell them, hey, make sure you write those down, because at the end, when I list everything out that you've done to make you look great, it's hard for me to go to my boss and say, this person deserves this much, and this person deserves this much. You know, for me, it's just hard, they're like, oh, I don't know how many hours I work, I don't know what houses I went to. For me, it's hard, coming from corporate work, you know what I mean?
I mean,
And-
in surrounding towns, the position pays high.
Well, and that's why I've always said that the more you write down, the more we can advocate for that
I
position to
understand
get
that,
more.
I'm just saying, but
It's,
why it's just difficult to get the extra time already when I'm already trying to justify working for meetings, you know?
but I think if you stuck it out for one full year and really detailed everything that you did,
Yeah.
because we can drive around and like I can think of off the top of my head between here and out my house or our neighborhood, all the different things that are going on with like permits and everything else, or things that should be addressed because of codes. And I don't know, like, are they being addressed? Are they not being, like, I don't know what's going on behind the scene. And for all I, you know, person looking from the outside is thinking he doesn't do anything, like what's going on, but he doesn't, but the average person doesn't know, well, I had to submit like so many letters and then I had to submit something to the court. And, you know, we don't know all of those things, which is why if you keep that
Also,
log.
most of the surrounding towns aren't stipend positions.
Right.
New
No.
Durham is full-time, or at least it was. Farmington's not stipend, Wolfboro's not
They're
stipend.
helping, we had all that list.
Right.
Yeah.
We negotiate that.
Yeah,
to-
we could say, hey, this needs to be a
Right.
part-time position.
Well,
or
we
this
can't.
needs to
The
be-
select board.
Better,
yeah.
And another thing too, with the new system that we're gonna be going into, I'm not sure what's gonna happen with submitting timesheets. So that's why I'd say that if we start working on it now,
Yeah.
we'll have a much better idea of what to do when we go to the system.
Well,
Huh?
the Department of Labor should, if we don't have the backup.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And it's an audit issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Just so we can get you either help or say, he needs more hours, he can't do a minimum, it should be a minimum of 10. You're not down, I'm just saying that,
No, I
give
think
you a
there's-
better
I think there's a
increase
lot-
Or a better chance.
Well, I think there's a lot more work that goes behind that position. And I think if it was shown everything that's done, it would give a different appreciation
Right.
for it. And especially where he does the health part too. That's a huge thing. I mean,
And it's tough too, when they ask you, how many hours do you put towards this thing? How many hours do you put? You,
Well, that's what it's.
Because it's
like, I
15
might be
minutes
on the-
here or
I might be on the phone 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15.
Right.
It's like, that's what I was writing it all down, and it just, it's so much, but it's like, how much?
well, can you go back into your phone and look at, you know, you were on the phone for this
Well,
one?
that's not what it is, I'm just saying I'm writing in every
Oh.
little detail. It was like, I'd have like a dissertation to figure it out some days, you know, especially during the summer, but, yeah, no, I just think. And last year, Tim was gonna work on a comparison to the surrounding towns, but hopefully that got done, but.
I do actually have that, so I can bring that in.
This helps, you know, like that there were 161 permits.
Yeah.
Were they all approved and completed?
Yeah, those were
If
the,
it's on there, yeah, when it's gone,
These are the ones that were actually.
I mean, he brought in what, almost 56, almost, you know, 56,390.
What's on the desk, I would say?
94.
About 60.
Yeah, just under $60,000 in revenue that it's brought in, so.
That's
Which
not
is-
gonna be every year.
No,
Which is
no,
probably
it's
the
definitely
high-
not.
It's probably just about the highest you're gonna see in this town.
Yeah.
Well, unless
I
they
don't think it's gonna
reduce the
be,
minimum acreage.
but,
Well, yeah, I mean, so depending on moving forward, what the state mandates on us, we could potentially see a boom. Or things could even out, or depending on the economy and the state mandates, we could see a plunge in permits. You know, if people start losing their jobs, you know, you might see like 3 permits. But,
one thing I can say from the years is building never actually stops, it just changes how it gets built. Somebody will start, they'll be doing renovations, they'll be doing additions, they'll figure some way out. It's just everybody always gets bigger, it changes things.
Not when they get
So I
the
wouldn't
tax
expect
bill.
it to be the same.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
not when
expect it
Avatar
to
pulls
have
up in
to
front of
be-
their house and starts taking pictures.
How long have you been in this position?
Same as Christine, or a
3
little bit
years,
longer
3,
than
4,
Christine, 4
4?
years.
I think
Four.
four
What was
5
it?
years.
April? May?
April of
And Christine was a
2021
selectman.
maybe?
Back then in the day. So
No,
it'll be
you were
4
in
years.
2021, because I was still there. in
No.
2021.
4 years ago.
Yeah, 2022.
It would have been 2022, because I left in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the year
I think she
left.
left on 3/14 and I took office on 3/15.
No, no,
Sure
no.
did.
We was-
I left the day Christine joined.
Yeah, it was the day I showed up for
Not
my
that I
first
took that.
meeting.
I was
I'm
like, oh yeah, this is my
am I
last
gonna
day.
see you? She goes,
No.
nope, I'm out of here.
4:30.
Yeah. Okay, so we digress.
She did.
So we good with, anything else,
I'm
Carl?
good.
Yeah. no,
Okay, great.
Thank
Duly
you,
noted.
Carl.
Earl, thank you.
Duly noted, apologize, but, I'll work on it. Thursday, I'll try to start drafting something together to track this stuff.
I'll remind you.
Just to make it
You
easier.
notebook in the car, just say, this day, this line, I went here, I went there.
Alright.
Just write down the address. Walk and phone you get out of the calls. office, you can Yeah. track it.
My husband carries, because both his jobs, he has to keep details like that. He usually gets a calendar thing, not with the blocks, but with actual areas where he just notes everything on his mileage. You know,
I think
so-
I might even have a mileage notebook
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
because I'm a general contractor too, so I usually have a. I I try not to, because I'm all over the place with different things, so I don't ever change them. But
Well, you could always use your supply line to buy one.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, for real.
I'm not very good with doing that either, because I bought ink and stuff and didn't even remember to give her the receipts, so.
Do we want to just start from the beginning until?
Sure.
Who's next?
Well,
We're like way ahead of time.
45.
Time sheet
So
for
let's
this
just
past
start
pay
on
period.
page one, the
I could do my
executive line.
Just a quick one.
I'll get something together.
Yeah, just so I can put it with it.
Yeah.
And if, I have a
I mean,
couple of
that's
different
my
types of
recommendation,
ones if you
but-
wanna look at them to see.
Okay, let's do that.
Even if I just Google
Oh,
something,
you to start
there's gotta
there?
be
Yeah.
something.
I'm good with that. I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
So that's 4130, first page. So I mean, I put most of these numbers in here. I put all the numbers in here. I didn't make a change to the selectman salary, but I let the selectmen make that decision, the other ones, because I don't take a salary, so I just made that rounded out to $13,045 instead of $13,044.95. I didn't include a COLA in there, but that still could be discussed if we want to so choose that. The admin assistant and the admin clerk, those two lines are just last year's salary times 3%. The office telephone why is that so low? Because we're changing.
Well, that's what we worked on.
Because because I have that's $957.05 a month, so times 12.
Well,
What?
I'm trying to think, but do we have all of? Yeah,
I thought that's what
just
Tony
paid-
had given us for a number. We can verify that.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna go down.
So
I know,
we
it's
can
crazy.
follow up on that, but I believe that's what the numbers that she
Yeah.
quoted was $957.05 a month, so that times 12 gets us to the 11,485.
Right.
And she's done
Changing companies?
no, she renegotiated what we were doing with the current company. Tony did a really good job in working through getting us,
And we also got rid of a couple lines
yeah,
that were redundant.
so, yeah. Office supplies, that one remained flat at 3,500. Postage, that one remained flat, it's 6,750. Those postage going up, I heard.
I heard it is, I don't.
I heard
don't
it's
know.
going up.
I would
again.
One doesn't hit, really.
So
feel
that
like it
one
goes
might
up
be
every
one
year.
we might wanna consider
I
going,
think
I
it's
mean, but
at least
right
going
now.
up to 76, or is it 76? I can't remember, yeah.
So we want to look at putting that back at 400.
Put that up 400, you mean put that up to like 7,150, Tim? Is that what you're saying?
Postage.
Postage.
Yeah, I'm looking at both, yeah.
So putting,
Go back.
maybe putting
Yeah.
that up to 7,000? Increasing it 250?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll put that at 7,000.
You're Googling?
Yeah,
Um,
see if I can find.
Background checks, reduce that to 300.
What do you do background checks for?
People who we hire here at the town, any position that gets hired.
For any, just for the selectman's office, or is this for any?
Any-
That's
Any
for
position,
anybody.
Like if we hire a police officer, a highway person,
You don't want
Part-time
any
people,
part-time people.
bad stuff.
Everybody.
Mileage reimbursement, I left that at 200, we've only used $51 of that. Association dues. Oh, look at that, we spent, what's that, oh, interesting.
Do we have any that coming in at the end of the year?
I have to look and see, because when I initially put in 500 for this, we wouldn't have spent more than 1,960, so
Right.
I need to take a look and see what's being booked into that line. So that line might change from 500, maybe back to 1,000. We'll have to see what's in there. Resource materials, I reduced that to 250. The advertising line, that line will be going away. Meeting and training, that one we reduced that to 500 from 750. Office equipment repairs, that line we're looking to remove that line. We don't budget in that. Copier is $2,748, which is $229 per month. That's what we're being charged.
Is that on a contract or is
Yeah,
it
it's
a-
contract.
And is our contract
That's
for
what, yeah, that's what
a
is,
certain amount more time, like
It's
another?
a 3-year contract, isn't it?
yeah, I think so.
And are we still
We're still
beginning
in
of
that
it?
3-year contract.
Yeah. The internet, that's 159, that's a contract, that's on 1909. The computer support, we pay that, it's based off of the 2006-11-25. Now we'll have to take a look at that because we year to date is it, and that might change because of, we'll have to take a look at that. Because we've overspent that, but that could be part of, Tony's been doing some work with them as well, so we'll verify that. Town report, left that at 300. The website, so that was up for renewal this year, so it's 3,500. That got paid this past year, so that actually can go down to 0 because we paid it this year.
Cause it was
That's
what,
right.
3-year
3 years,
contract?
3 years, so that can go down to 0. Any comments about any of that section?
Is this orange here?
Orange is just a change from year to date,
Oh.
from this year's proposed budget.
So it went
to-
up 377?
Yeah, but it's gonna change because we're changing some of those numbers in there, so.
Yeah.
Did I give you too much information and it causes more questions? It does. it just
Regular
does.
postage isn't changing
So it
until like
isn't?
at least mid-year, but it
So I
doesn't
think
say
if we
what.
say, so if we put that at 7,000, that's probably good, and the postage.
Well, that's the cost
Tax
of
bills.
all the
That's-
tax bills and everything
Yeah.
going out.
And we've already got all of that done this year, so. So if we go to the next page, it puts us at the 4153, which is the town attorney. That one, we are remaining at $20,000. I think we've done a very good job of controlling those costs, but
Is this the
you
14?
just never know.
Is this the number, the year-to-date after you moved the 14?
Yes, this doesn't have any of the ZBA stuff in it. The
Okay.
ZBA stuff has been, once we get to that section, you'll see.
It's moved to where it was moved to?
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep that at 20?
Say that again, Tim?
We're gonna keep that at 20,000?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, because if you see over there, my line says 14 to be moved to ZBA, which has already happened. Because there is a 14 that's been entered. So the next section is the admin, which is the health insurance, dental, longevity, all that. So the health insurance right now, it includes our current coverage for people who are taking it with a buffer for a family plan. So that's, give me a minute,
30%.
it's 30, it's like 30.
Sure, why not? A nice chunk.
Give me a minute, give me a minute.
Actually, the amount for health,
It's the
Health
family-
Trust started this month.
It's 34,000 for a family plan. So we have a buffer in there, so keep that in mind when you
I'm sorry,
cut something.
can you explain that again? I'm not sure I understand.
Health
So-
insurance line
Yeah.
has, it's 134, so that covers everybody who's taken in health insurance that the town has to cover, that the
Okay.
town has a portion. Plus, we are putting in a buffer, because we do have one position still open that needs to be filled at the PD.
Yeah.
And that person comes in and they so choose to take a family plan, we have buffered in there the highest plan that could be potentially taken, so that way we wouldn't come up as a shortfall.
Sure, so that one person, if that one person were to take a family plan, how much would that increase?
$34,000.
For a family plan.
Yeah, which I think
That
is
sounds
pretty,
about right.
which is pretty right, because I think the school
Yeah.
pays more than that for a
Yeah.
family plan.
Because, or
As
if,
they
like, say,
choose.
I decided to take a plan,
Right.
which I don't.
Right,
How
then we would
much
have to
is it for
renegotiate that.
a single person?
Single is 12,000, the town's portion is 12,605.
And so
We
the
have two
town's
people,
portion-
we have 2 people who take a single plan. We have 3 people who take a 2-person plan. That 2-person plan is 25,209. And then we have nobody that takes a family plan.
But anything could
But-
happen. You could have a change in
Right, someone could change and say, I want family, but we still have an open position that we need to fill, and if that person chooses to take health
Yeah.
insurance.
So the town only has 4 full-time?
No,
No,
Town
we have
has-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
we have 7, and only currently 5 people take health insurance.
And the other 2,
One doesn't take insurance, and the other one is an open position that we don't have filled yet.
So the one person that doesn't, they could be getting it from their spouse.
Right.
But theoretically, if their spouse loses their job or insurance, they could say, I've had a change in life status, and they could mid-year.
Which would take that one buffer, and then we're down. But hey, we gotta.
Then you hope the PD guy only comes in with a single.
Yeah.
Or he has coverage through somewhere
Alright,
else,
yeah.
so that's,
those numbers for, for the single couple and family plans are this year's
Yeah.
actual numbers?
no, the actual, so this year's actuals number is 2025, because that's the year, we had budgeted 103,891.25.
Yep.
And we've actually spent 86,779.09. And that's because we had a buffer in there, and I believe it was a buffer for a single person this current year. Then we met the other night and we talked about this, and Tim recommended, and we all agreed to, for now, is to put the buffer to a family plan.
No, I get that.
Even though we knew that the cost of insurance went up this year. It
Right.
didn't go up, it didn't go up as much as, I think,
It's not-
other insurance companies. Health Trust has been pretty good about.
That's what I was really asking, those numbers, the 34,000, the 20,000 for couples, and the 12,000, that's for this coming year.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so the 25,209 is a single for 2 people, the 75,629 is 2 people for 3, is 2-person plan for 3 people, and then we have a family plan that's 34. If you add all that up, that equals the 134,871.70, which is for 2026 coverage. Dental, that's just based off of what we currently have. We don't have a buffer in there. Maybe we want to put a buffer in there.
How much are the plans?
The plan is for a single, it's 544. For a 2-person, it's 1,046, and for a family, it's 1,835.
For dental?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that's expensive?
I don't know, today.
I think that's pretty
It doesn't
inexpensive.
sound terrible.
No, it doesn't,
No,
doesn't.
it's pretty.
Ugh. Okay.
So right now, there's no buffer, but we can contemplate that. So longevity,
Wouldn't do that.
we will have 2 additional people next year that will qualify for the longevity.
Why are we still doing longevity?
So how long do you have to work here for longevity?
5 years.
5
5
years. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's $500.
a year.
Yeah, and then we're very generous as you go out further.
Oh, yes, yes.
Compared to other towns, they're extremely
Okay.
generous.
Most other towns don't do longevity.
Well, they do, but they're
It's not.
not much.
That's not like us.
So police retirement, this 74,826, this is a straight formula based off of, whoops, here, I'm gonna go back to where I need.
What's the percentage that we pay in?
Point 3095, hold on.
3095,
30.30.
30.95, and then.
It's almost
we go
31.
decimal.
So that's just based off of,
Almost 30%.
so that's just taking the full-time and the part-time, the police chief, the full-time and the part-time.
So part-time you don't do?
No.
Yeah, no,
No.
it's just, yeah, so it's
So
gonna be
it's
the chief of police
Yep.
in the full-time, and it's taking no salaries down below and multiplying by that factor, because that's,
Do you have factored in if you hire a new full-time officer?
it's based off of the salary that Scott has given us down, that's in the budget.
Okay.
So whatever's in the budget, that's what we potentially could be paying, and pay that
So
salary.
can I ask a question? Because I
No.
was thinking about this on the school side. And it's legit because so many times, especially like on the school side, they said like, oh, the kindergarten teacher left and we had to replace them, and the new kindergarten teacher's now making like $40,000 more than what we budgeted for. And what we had to do, we had to give them more.
So in my opinion, their NHRS line should be based off of whatever the factor is off of the salaries below, because that's what you have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess what I'm saying
So
is
if you're gonna increase somebody's salary, that salary already should be included in the salary line, because if you're paying somebody more money, where's that money coming from?
well, exactly.
So I'm just
So,
saying.
well, my thought is, you know, so if Scott says, oh, I have somebody, but to get them here, we're gonna have to pay them, you know, $10,000 more a year, you know,
Well, he knows, he's put in the budget, so,
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he has to work with.
I get it. It's just, it's frustrating when it's like we hear this song and dance often versus just saying like, we'll pay you this because this is what we have in our budget, and then, you know, next budget cycle will address your performance, and if you're.
But no, so this line is, to me, is a straight formula based, it's the percentage based off of the salaries. And that's how it should be, because you don't have any control, you have to pay that amount. The employee retirement life, I just kept that at 13,000, because that's depending on whoever participates in it. That's like the 401. Okay.
So the police can have 401 and they can have their retirement?
Yep. Anybody who works for the town can,
Even part-timers can have a
No, I mean, I get like everybody else, but I'm just
yeah.
to pay for both.
The workers' comp, that's, we got the bill, we already know what that is, that's 96,648, that's a 14% increase.
I know. But they shouldn't.
Unemployment compensation, that's 500, so,
Is that workman's comp bill based on incidents we've had, or is that just?
that's what Primex bills us, based off of our experience. Yep.
Yeah,
The
based
group.
on this year?
if you have claims and stuff, it
Yeah.
will go up. Yeah.
Well, considering it increased $12,000,
Yeah.
so,
Yep.
yeah.
It's fun.
We can, so if we finish that, if anybody's got any questions about that section? Tim, do you want to, I think the ZBA was straight lined, I don't think there
I'm
was.
not the VP person.
Okay, well, oh, right, so my understanding is that's,
Like,
right, that line is flat line. So here, Christine, you're gonna see the ZBA legal line is 16,560.
That's it?
No, that's what we actually spent. That's above and beyond the 15,000 that
Yep.
came out of the CRF.
Ah.
So, right now, I think this is all flatlined and it's not,
So total, they've spent like what, 31, almost 32,000 in legal?
yep. Not, probably that 16,560 isn't probably all of it. I would say maybe 2,000 of it might be other ZBA or 1,500 of it, but yeah. So I'd say 31, which I think was probably a more realistic number we should have maybe used last year, but
Yeah.
you never know.
It would have been nice to have had that come out of a.
So this line, this section is just flat line. We're gonna keep it the same as, unless I hear differently. And I'll follow up with Mike on that.
Are you guys you're gonna keep that legal at 3,000?
Yeah, until I talk with Mike.
Okay.
Well, you think there's more? No?
I think there should be more. I mean, it's
Well,
still
maybe,
going, it's
that
still
might be
ongoing.
that might be a CRF,
Okay.
which might be more potentially because that's,
Putting it in a warrant article.
yeah, which is what we did, attempted to
Right.
do last year, but apparently wasn't enough.
You said that the legal spent 31,000?
Yep,
Where did the other,
there's a CRF that we
It
did
was a
last
warrant
year.
article.
That was 15,000 for specifically for the ZBA.
so wait, the 16,000 that doesn't include the 15.
Huh?
So the 16,000 here is above and beyond the 15.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's like a total of like
Yeah.
31,000.
yep. Yeah. So that puts us, the next section is the 4194 government lines. So the electric, so we increased that to 425 for the salt shed. The electric for the town hall, increased that to 3,600, because it does get, it's getting used more, the town hall is.
Yeah.
And it's based off of, I think, the usage, you know, it's basically taking what we had been using and dividing it by 12 and seeing, and multiplying it by, you know, Highway is 1750 increase. Fire department, increasing that to 3600 because that has to require the ambulance needs to be held at a certain temperature.
Did the electric rates go up too? It did, so wouldn't it?
It did, but then they locked in, you guys locked in with
Yeah,
a
but we
person.
came out,
Right.
right, but we're not still in, we went with the new company, that he came again.
Right, with the new company.
Right.
I can't think of it at the moment.
I can't either. So the municipal building, that one, a decrease to 7,000. The cleaning, I don't know why that's over. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, cause that's,
Well,
it should be 50, it's $50 a week. So 50 times 50,
no, you got, it's 125 a week that we pay.
not for the municipal building.
Municipal's 50.
Right, so.
Over here is 50.
That's on a
and
different line.
PD is 25. Yeah, I'm just saying.
50
Those,
times 52. Yeah, so that should be 2,600, so I need to take a look and see what, we had to take a look at that 3,000 that we paid. So that's all that is $50 a week.
you got it
For
at,
you.
oh, yeah.
No, it's,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
spent
yeah.
3,000. Septic service, that's staying at 750,
Is that for
to have the septic
town
pumps,
hall?
the municipal building.
And did we not do that last year?
Yeah, you don't have to get your septic done every year.
Right, we
Right.
did it
Usually
the
it's
year
probably, what,
before.
every other year?
Right.
Yeah, it's every 2 years.
Propane for the municipal, that's 200. Water testing, I know we were looking into getting that done. Repairs for the old town hall,
Well, you-
I kept that at 2,000, even though we spent 35. Take a look
I
at
know
that.
we have
Maybe we
work
change
that
next
needs to
to
be
run.
done. It's rotting out on the outside up here. Is any grants, do you know?
I don't know, we need to, and that would be, I think, we're gonna talk about maybe doing that as a CRF.
What's rotting?
Well, we have a leak in the other room here,
Yeah.
and then we have some clapboards on the side of the building.
And then the roof was leaking as well.
Yeah, the roof is leaking there, so,
And we don't have a capital reserve fund for.
we do.
We do?
We have a capital reserve, but there's no money in it, so we need to look to put money in that, but we can potentially use that from unassigned. You know. Repairs to the municipal building, reduce that down to 3,000, because now we have a CRF.
Yep.
Repairs to the fire station, kept that at 1,400. Repairs to the highway, kept that at 1,400. Supplies to the old town hall, kept that at 250, but I see we have $408 in there, so take a look
Yeah,
at
we're
that.
trying to,
Supplies for the municipal building, which this might be offsetting with supplies for the old town hall. I reduced that to 750 because based off of, so maybe that should go back to 1,000, because we're keeping 250.
yeah.
Alright, so we'll put that back to 1,000.
How much money do we make from renting Old Town Hall?
We just changed that.
Yes, we just upped the.
Yeah, I don't have a specific number yet, but I can probably get it for you.
Oh, you could look at that, look at Roy's, when you get the revenue, when you should get the revenue report, it should say on there, it should be like it'll say town hall rentals or rental fees. And it would say what we had gotten for the full year.
Yeah, because that can help
Help offset.
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
The generator, that's 1,000, we kept that. Building and maintenance, kept this at, we moved this down to 2,000, so maybe it shouldn't be, I don't know why, the 2678 initially may have had, I don't know why that's such an odd number, 2678 from last year. So this number may need to be changed, instead of just 2,000, he's the next line down.
Right, but we switched him out of one.
Yeah, this line, he was getting paid out of this line, so, so I don't know what the thought is, I'm fine with keeping it at 2,000. I feel like we have building and maintenance, I don't have to look and see what's being charged in that line.
Which building is that for?
Well, that's,
Wait.
yes, that's my.
We're looking at building maintenance,
Yeah.
so we spent 29.45, so we never spent that much this year.
Right, but I wanna go back and see what was spent out, I wanna see what was.
Like which
specific-
building is it?
Right, what was it, you know what I mean, is it I wanna take a look at that and see what it should be, so, but I'm good with changing it, do we wanna put that up to 3,000? No, I mean, that's fine, go ahead.
No, my plan would be to keep that what it was last year.
All right, so 2678,
Yeah.
can we put it to 2750? I just like a round number. I just like a round
It's
number.
up to you guys.
So 2750. Maintenance facilitator, this is a stipend amount, and
Now, what is the maintenance facilitator?
that is Lester.
That's Lester, okay.
Yeah, so that is, the prior year salary times 3%. Heat for the old town hall, I put that at 2100. Must have, maybe some numbers have updated here. Heat for the highway, I put that at 4350. Interesting. Heat for the fire department is at 4,000. These could be changed based off of what we spent year to date here, I guess. Heat for the municipal building, that
Yeah,
one I
'cause I
did
just
reduce
changed
down
some
to
numbers.
2600.
Is
So-
the heat all, is it oil or electric? or-
Gas, so
It's gas.
I have gas next door,
So,
propane,
Is it propane here too?
yes.
okay, hold on. So we have the heat for the municipal building that has its own separate line, but then we have a line for propane for the municipal building.
No, the propane, hold on, where's the propane? Keep going, we gotta go up. The propane was only 200, that's for them to come out and test the tanks. That propane, it's only $200. Propane municipal,
Yeah.
that is to test, it's $200. We
Was
would,
that like the leak test?
it,
that
yeah,
they
it
do?
comes out and they test the generator and whatnot, that's what that's for them to come out and test that.
And you guys use Dead River.
We use Dead River, yes.
Have we looked at other companies to see if we can get
Not recently,
No.
no,
better rates?
no, not recently.
It only costs $2,000 to heat the municipal building all year, all winter.
Yep,
Well, and that's a funky building anyway, so there's
Yeah,
some
it is.
areas where you don't even probably need to turn on the heat.
no,
There's other-
because they heat downstairs and sometimes upstairs it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, you gotta open the window.
Yeah, you do. And it's 2 degrees outside.
And then there's Old Town Hall where you have to wear a full
Snowsuit.
Yeah,
And this building's used a lot more than it used
Yeah.
to be too.
so maybe the heat lines could maybe slightly be adjusted, but I mean, right now, I'll leave them as is for now, if everybody's fine with that. So next one, property liability, this amount has already been, Primex has already sent us what it's gonna be, 71,972, it's 14% increase from last year.
Has any changes been made? I know there was like big talk with the whole liability of like stuff.
No, no change. So now if we wanna jump down to 4290, emergency management. Oh, I guess maybe this would fall under here, but, that was the meeting at 5. There was a comment, and I don't know if Jared's coming tonight, but if not, I can speak to his budget. There was we just did, appointed Stephen Frunkman to the Director of Emergency Management. He's a fire person, and he does handle this for other towns and whatever, emergency management. He gave a presentation at the last Board of Selectmen meeting, it was very good. Jared did comment about potentially making that position a stipend position, maybe $2,000 or $2,500, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. So some thought up to it.
What would the person do?
They take care of the emergency for the, they handle the oversight of it. Is any type of emergency that happens in the town.
So if
they
there's an ice
oversee-
storm, if there's
Like
an
the
earthquake,
school
if
shooting,
there's a shooting,
or
whatever it is.
They oversee all of that. They have a plan they're the ones that put the plan in place. And you have to have
You have to have a plan written up. I was part of the last
right,
one
you
we
have to
just
have
did.
certain things filed with the state in order to be able to get certified. I think that's what it is. And Tim, you were
Yeah.
part of that, right? I don't know what the,
Both Christine and I were.
so.
So past history, it was usually like fire chief for our
There
town
was,
that always did
there
it.
was, there
And
was
then it
always
was the
the
police chief,
Yeah.
and then it went to the fire chief,
and then it went back.
right? And,
So now we're talking about having somebody that's,
he's a fire person. he works, you
Does
know.
he work for our?
He works for our fire department
Yep,
currently.
he's on our
And he's
roster.
trained as a emergency management director
Right,
for other
yeah.
towns.
So I'm just throwing it out there. It was
I
commented,
think he's done, what, 17 towns?
yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there that that was what was right, that was what was mentioned to me, so I would throw it out there to see if what.
Well, I'm just wondering, so if he's doing 17 towns and some big catastrophe happened.
No, he's done 17 towns. He's not currently.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like,
Currently, he's just us.
hello?
Yeah, no.
Not adding up here. I'm like,
They're cloning them. No, it's
Right.
good.
no.
So I'm just throwing that out there, so it's just food for thought or whatever, but right now we have $500 in there. We don't typically use that for anything, but we have it in there in case something happens, I don't know what. Kind of like the natural disaster CRF that we put in $1,000 each year.
Yeah.
But if a natural, he would oversee that if we had a natural disaster too, so. So right now that's at 500 and we've never really determined how this line gets, how it should be paid out, if anything gets paid out of it, so I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah, I don't think this line's ever been used.
No,
I was
think it is.
told like if something were to happen and like everybody was here for a work station and food needed to be bought and they bought pizza or
Well,
that
$500
literally was how it
is
was
not gonna buy
explained
too
to me.
much. You get one meal maybe.
Yeah.
it was explained to me that way.
No, I know, that, no, I think that was the natural disaster, you could buy like 2 cases of bottled water or something like that, but, so I'll leave that one as is for now, $500. So the next line, the 4299-91 dispatch Stratford, that's being put into another line into the police, so this
Okay,
line
so
will
it's
go
a new
away.
line.
This is split out between police and fire now. So this line will go away and be absorbed into their budgets because it's truly a part of their budget, not the town. And you'd see that when you go through the police and when you go through the fire. The next section, 4316, government, 4319. The big heavy hitting line is right here. Street lighting.
What page?
It's 4316, it's just below, if you keep scrolling down, it's below the highway.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, I should probably, street lighting, maybe that should be put up to 2,200. This was based off of, I had done it based off of some numbers prior in the year. So I would put that at 2,200, based off of our current usage. School diesel and school gasoline, $18,000 is what the school budgets, so we just split it between those two. We go by what they budget, so they budget 18,000. Tonnage. You're all sitting down, right?
Yeah.
296,655.96. Did I get that number right, Tim?
You got it right.
Okay. That's a 53% increase.
It's disgusting.
That's based off of a contract we signed.
That includes bulk.
Yes, that includes everything.
2 bulk days.
2 bulk days, yeah. Metal pickup, metal electronic pickup, we don't budget anything here because that's just the revenue, we get revenue from it and whatever we have to pay out or whatever,
So what was the 90121?
That's
what we paid.
That's what we paid, but then we would get a revenue, but it doesn't show in here because these are all expenses.
Okay.
Then hazard waste, we have 2,000. I moved that down. We only used $621 of it, so I changed that to 1,000, or I'm putting in 1,000. Recycle, it was 500. We did 609. I kept it at 500. We can change it to 600 if everybody so chooses.
What's the recycle for?
I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. It's probably, well, it's something that probably comes from, I would
Is
guess.
that like tires and stuff?
I was gonna say tires.
No, that would be metal, I thought electronic pickup, but we
Right.
could see, it might be split out between recycle and that. But I mean, the metal and pickup, we don't put any money in there for,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
But we can take a look at that and see what it is, so if you wanna, you put a highlight that.
The new contract for the tonnage
Yeah.
is for how long? How long is the contract? 1 year? 3 years?
No, it's,
Is it 3 years?
3 or 5?
It's 5 years.
5
I was gonna
years,
say
that's what
5
it is.
Yeah.
How much is it gonna go up each year?
Depends on diesel prices and other things, but
And how many new houses we get?
Well,
I probably
well, that,
say
yes,
your
that would be the tonnage.
average.
yeah, your tonnage, I mean, depending on what your tonnage is. But the rate, I think the rate is gonna remain the same or slightly goes up, but yeah, but fuel price, we pay a fuel surcharge, and depending on what the fuel price is, will depend on what we get charged each month for that as well.
But we can start offsetting that with revenue from our bulk stickers.
Right.
Or code enforcement of the trash barrel ordinance.
Well, I mean, that's a discussion, right, we have to have as a board of selectmen to say, do we start saying, you
Get the
know,
tote
stickers, we are no longer gonna give out stickers, they're gonna cost, you're gonna have to purchase them, and they're gonna be $25 a sticker. The other thing is you're only allowed to put out 2 65 barrels, you know, of you know what I mean, to try and control the
Right.
amount of trash.
Our
Because,
part of that is when people get fed up and no place to put it or can't afford it, they start throwing it someplace else.
that's gonna
People have
happen.
to pay for their bulk stuff in any town, so I mean,
Absolutely.
you know, right now,
Doesn't mean that they won't throw it someplace else.
well,
then
you're,
that's
you're never
where
gonna stop that
enforcement.
though, that's the
Right.
thing, like, I mean, it is what it is, and if the town needs to raise prices, then that's what the town needs to
I
do.
mean, so that's a discussion for the board of selectmen to have or whatever, so, you know what I mean, in suggestions from people, and what their input is. I'm like,
Bonfire.
you know,
Old Home Day, bonfire day.
there you go. So, yeah, so that's where those are.
Nice test for the fire department.
So the next section is 4414, which is the ACO. So I think lines ACO salary, the uniform, training, miscellaneous, cell phone, and vehicle, those will all be removed. We haven't used those in a number of years. And we will keep the Cocheco Valley equipment, dues and equipment, and that was keeping at 500 because we do,
Yeah.
if we have to bring a dog down there, we have to pay. Or an animal, not just a dog, whatever. Let's see, the next one is the donations. These were all flatlined, except for, yeah, these were all flatlined, they kept them the same as what we did last year. So it looks like the Greater Wakefield Resource did not request their money, and they still have till tomorrow maybe to request it, or within the first 2 weeks of the year. Milfoil treatment, that line is 0, that's just because we expended out of there, and that gets offset from the CRF, the milfoil CRF. Beach maintenance and patriotic, those remain the same, though maybe beach maintenance needs to be increased to 1,400.
What are we doing for beach maintenance?
They went up
Porta-
on the porta potties
porta potty.
last year.
Cause
So that's
that's
probably
down
why
at
it's
John's Beach.
Does there really need to be a porta potty down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want?
Yes.
Yeah, because,
Sure does.
really,
Well, the other
you
places
don't wanna be
don't.
going in the bushes and somebody's.
Oh, I would never, I don't even use that.
No, but I'm just saying,
I get it, it's just,
because if you
It's-
didn't.
you know,
then
from a lake person who already pays extra money to be a lake person, than to have to pay for something
Well,
that,
this is for all the people who are not lake people who use the public beach,
I think that
But we
should be
pay
put
for
up
it.
to 1400.
like Sierra.
You will not catch me down there.
I would need.
so do you get to pay for a sticker, because we pay for the water and the dam.
Yes, we would, no, I don't have to
Nobody
pay for a
owns the
sticker because
water.
I'm a.
Nobody owns water.
We pay for the dam that holds the water.
You chose to live in a lake area.
That's right, all right.
Well,
We
then you
digress.
choose not to, so.
Okay,
porta potty.
so now we are
You can
going
be
to
right
go to,
Oh,
oh, wait a minute.
wait,
Wait a
what was
minute.
that?
I think we should put the beach maintenance up to 1400
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure the porta potties.
Yeah, no, and that's what I did, I did update it to 14. And we will be getting rid of the other line, other culture and rec, I think something got.
We got rid of that one, right?
Yes, and that needs to be removed.
5-gallon bucket.
So that brings us down to 4723, which is the tan. That, we just keep that at $1, because if we ever need to, hopefully we don't need to use that line.
That would be good.
Let's see, what do we got now here? Moving right along. We're gonna go to the highway block grant. That came in at 77,343. And that's what we were told is going to be for next year. And then we go down to the 4930.
So just go back to that.
Yeah.
You said it's going to be 77,000?
That's what, yeah, that's what they're anticipating sending us,
So how come our budget is 65?
because that's this, oh, wait a minute, yes, what,
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
I read that wrong. It's going to be 6540, sorry, that was me, I read what we actually spent out of that this year. So the state has allocated $65,040, so that's what we budget for, because it's just, gets an offsetting revenue to that. Sorry, that was me, too many columns. Then we get down to the town clerk refund, the tax collector refund, projects from fund balance, that shouldn't even be there, because that's a different, we don't use that line, but those are, we don't budget for anything, because we don't anticipate we should have any refunds.
Well, even if you do, you don't pay for those
Right.
lines anyways.
So that brings us down to the 6,000s, the employee social security, that increased to 35,000. The employee Medicare increased that to 10,400. And then the next two, bank services and the bank fees, those are zero, because we don't budget for any of that as well.
What are the miscellaneous fees and charges?
Those would be like, I believe, I'm not sure, those don't come out of our office, I believe those come out of the town clerk tax collector. But we'd have to take a look and see what that 5,328 is.
Didn't you guys didn't they get something new in their machine of some sort?
That would should come out of that though.
So we
I
can
don't know
take a
what
look
those
at
would
that
be.
and see what it is. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Did we have to pay extra money this year for the audit when the changing of the hands for?
Oh, yes, that's probably one of the reasons why the audit line is over. Yes, so whenever you have a town clerk, tax collector changing, someone coming in and replacing that position, that position has to be audited. So you have to.
So would that be in the audit line? It wouldn't
Yeah,
be
it
in
would
that.
go, because that all goes through Sean Coupe line, yeah, the auditors. So. What time is, do we know if Scott's coming?
Well, Scott said he wasn't, scheduled till 8.
Right, no, but I'm just saying, that's fine.
He's
So we
planning
can-
on coming. I don't know if you wanna call him and have him come sooner.
We're waiting for Jared right now, right?
Huh?
We're waiting for Jared right now, right?
Yeah, and I don't know that Jared's coming, because I think for some reason and again, I remember having a
Danielle's gonna
conversation.
message Scott.
Huh?
You message Scott.
Oh, you can, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I can go through Jared's, because we've talked about it. I don't have a problem with it. Ooh, this one should be- let me get there. That is 4215. And I believe that he gave you guys numbers, right? Jared did? He sent you, did he
Well,
send?
emailed us too.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, I don't recall, it's been a while, so I might have the right numbers, I might have wrong numbers, so let me know if I don't have the right numbers. So the medical supplies, they kept that at 6,000. Rescue training, kept that at 2,000. EMS gear, he kept that at 1,500. EMS duty salary, kept that at 9,000. Equipment purchase, kept that at 2,000.
Yes.
Vehicle maintenance, kept that at 500. And then the EMS shift pay is 72.1. Do I have that
No.
wrong?
What was it?
What's that number do you have?
I have 71,820.
71,820.
This one is 70.
Oh, because he did,
72.1.
why is this?
This is the one he had sent us.
We didn't send them.
Back in what, October, September?
What do you have for an EMF shift pay line?
70.
Just 70?
Well, he's got 70 and he's got, over to the side, he's got another 10,000 written. So
Yeah, well, that's
I don't know
that's
if
his
he
wish
needs-
list.
I mean, they want
Well,
more.
here it says it's 72.
So, right, because I did a 3% increase. So, and he has overspent, but that I know that they're bringing money in from the ambulance revolving fund to pay for this overage, so I know people will say you overspent, but we've talked about that. He has money he can use from the ambulance revolving to pay for shift coverages and, go ahead, Sierra.
Yeah, but if we're gonna be fiscally responsible, we shouldn't be pulling from that to cover pay all the time.
No, and that's, and I agree with that. However, in order to cover what we had this year, that
Right.
was the agreement, was we would pull that. Now, he also knows that under the 2% tax cap,
Can't.
we're using the money, he's not changing anything else in his budget except for the EMF shift pay to help increase that. But I think he also has, like what Bonnie said over to the side, he has an additional 10, what he would really like, that's what the two
Right.
numbers should be.
So
Yeah.
based on the email he sent to us
Yeah.
on September 1st, no, I'm sorry, yeah, September 15th, he had it at 71,820 for EMS shift pay.
But then it was increased because of the 3%.
Well, because I didn't know at the time, I didn't have his thing, so, wait a minute.
What's EMS duty salary?
That's
when they're on call, right?
Right, like the $5, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's just the regular.
$7.25.
That's like, the $7.20, when they're on call during the night.
They're
But
sitting,
they haven't
it went
gone
up?
anywhere.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
725.
So what was that number, Tim? Sorry,
71,820.
820, okay, so we'll put that in there for now, but that's only, no, that says it's 3% increase, but whatever.
Well,
Is
it's
it-
rounded up to 3, it's 2.6 actual. But
Yeah, so. I
But
don't know how we came up with
this
that,
year, 2025, we've expended over $86,000. Is that because we're covering more?
but, yes.
So if this is ongoing and we're covering more, then we should budget for covering more.
Right, but he gave us a fiscal budget, which is a 2% tax cap, because he has, I think you guys have it, he says, I think this was the 2% tax cap, what he presented, but he has over to the side, like, what it's truly what the true cost is if we wanna keep all of this coverage.
Sure, but we actually make money when we cover.
Well, as long as we're billing and we're receiving the money, we should.
a lot of times when you can bill, but if somebody doesn't have insurance,
Or
Or-
even if they do and the check is sent to them, they don't always give it to us.
yeah,
Right.
or if
Yeah.
or if it's like a Medicare patient and Medicare only reimbursed maybe $500 out of a $3,000 ALS
But the,
ambulance bill.
right, so the situation,
So
the
when
sticky
it's
part of it is we know that this line, that budget line should probably be more. However, because of the tax cap we have to live under right now, is he's staying within that tax cap.
So when we cover for, let's say, the next town over, when we
Yeah.
cover for them,
We bill,
we bill them,
we bill the person, we don't bill the town.
we don't bill the town.
We bill, especially if it's a transport, we get the money from that.
So we bill the same way, whether it's in our town or out.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, whoever takes care of the patient bills the patient or their
Right.
insurance.
Yeah, and yes, and as of, I think, a month or 2 months ago, whatever, Milton no longer bills us.
I thought Milton stopped a while
No,
ago.
this was it was officially, Jared was officially told they are no longer billing us.
Well, they shouldn't, they should have stopped months ago.
But,
I mean,
well, I don't think, we haven't paid a
haven't
bill to
paid
Milton
them
this
for
year,
a
I
while.
don't know,
Yeah.
that I'm aware of. If we have, I doubt it. It was at the beginning of the year, whatever.
They got,
It's official.
they got
Yeah, they
used to.
So are there other towns that bill us?
No.
No.
we're
It's all mutual,
on our
it should
own
be all
now.
mutual aid.
Yeah.
They were only billing us because we did not have the ability to take care of our own town.
And
We didn't have the staff and the
We were
people
calling
to
them
manage.
away too often.
Right, we depended on them too much, and so they started billing us, and then, we had to address the issue, and Jared came in and
He
he's done
addressed
a
the
very
issue.
good job
Yeah, he's
of
been great.
getting coverage and having people here during the day. But part of that agreement was, we knew we'd go over budget, but part of it was to be able to use money from the ambulance revolving fund until we can try and get a good steady flow of how that's gonna work is to, and to try and get that budget raised but.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
So I hate to,
What?
if this has already been discussed in the show maintenance, I hate to do it, but what's the difference between duty salary and shift pay?
So the duty salary is when they're on call at home, like so
Okay.
they're on call. The shift pay is when they respond to that call.
So shift pay is when they're here,
Yeah, shift
duty
pay
pay
is,
is when they're just
right,
waiting.
so the
So-
shift
Okay,
pay is
they're on
like,
call.
yes, shift pay is
Right,
on
okay.
call.
Yeah.
But you could be on, but I mean, no, Sean,
No.
sorry, the shift pay is, they're physically here or they actually
They're
go out
physically
and drive the
working.
Yeah,
ambulance,
they're-
go on
yeah.
and call.
And the duty salary is
Oh, that's-
what's called they're on call there.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
Sitting at
home.
home watching TV until the pager goes off.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It is
labeled
really,
different.
it's, and you can only, the only reason you can tell the difference is because of the dollar amounts.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I
Yeah,
understand.
no,
because,
it's,
yeah.
yeah,
When you look at the shift pay on someone's pay stub, that's when they're on call.
Right.
That's the $7.25.
Yeah.
The call pay is when they actually go out and do a call. That's their regular hourly rate.
That's their shift pay.
Right, that's their shift.
Yeah.
The duty,
yeah, you
Duty
can't,
pay,
because the
no.
way, wait a minute, but the way it's listed on the sheet and the way it's on here, you can't, because because
two
we use
different-
EMF shift pay is what they get paid
When they go on the call.
when they go on the call. It's not the $7.
Or when they're-
which
No,
is-
that's the call pay, yep.
Yeah, that's the EMS duty salary. Right, yeah. We don't use consistent words between,
No, they
Why would we?
exactly.
because we might have caused questions.
minor.
It's fine, you guys.
So if we go now to the fire,
Keep it up, Sierra.
so, and correct me if I'm wrong, so he has in there member expense, is that 25,454?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get rid of the 4,220, the fire chief salary line, because we have the fire chief EMT. That, sorry, is at 28,000? Is that
Member
correct?
expense, is that their pay?
What?
The member expense of,
Yeah, that's the fire, when they go out on, they come in for training, or if they go out on a call, that's them. They only have one line for the
Yeah.
fire, so that's.
Because they're not
they're not on,
on call.
Right.
They're not on.
they don't get like a
Right.
pay.
Yeah.
They're invisibly on the call, because, if the fire happens, they.
Why would that go down for what we spent?
Because it's an increase from what we budgeted last year, so,
Yeah, because we gotta stay.
again, he's trying to stay in that tax cap. So, we have office supplies at 250, and we're gonna get rid of the cell phone line, because Jared said he does not need to get paid for this, he does not need to get reimbursed for that, so he's getting $600 somewhere else in his budget.
All right.
Building and maintenance is 3,000. Vehicle maintenance is 5,500. Gasoline is 1,300. Fire and diesel is 1,350. Radio and repairs is 500. We're gonna get rid of the forest line. Uniforms is 4,500. That's flat line. Fire equipment remains the same at 6,000. Training and fire is at 500, no change. Contract services is 6,000. And this is a new line, which is coming from that other one, this is Stratford Dispatch, so the fire portion is 1,800.
What's contract services?
That's like mutual aid contracts that we do with different areas. We sign contracts to say that we'll be a mutual aid carrier for, like, with
And it sounds like it's
Wakefield.
also dispatch.
And then
No,
other-
dispatch is the next line
It's
down,
gonna be its
Stratford
own
Dispatch.
New line.
So other towns will bill us if we.
No, when you sign the contract, you're saying you'll provide mutual aid, but they'll provide mutual aid to us, and it's basically a contract everybody pays into. So that it kind of helps cover those costs.
Everyone
That's my
helps everybody.
So who gets the money?
Whoever probably is putting the contract together, whoever's overseeing that mutual aid contract.
Whatever attorney,
Yeah, probably,
some attorney gave himself a good job.
right.
So how come everybody got a 3%, but, well, in the budget, 3% increases, but the fire chief did not?
Because he didn't put that in. I mean, he didn't
No,
put
he
that
didn't
in,
plus
and so we can override, and we still need to talk about that. Because if we're giving 3% to everybody else, we will give 3%. It'll be a
Well,
cost standard.
Christine put 2% for hers,
Right.
Right.
so.
And I had put errors in prior to having her numbers, so some of this was me not having their numbers.
How many hours a week does the fire chief work?
Hold on.
Was he 24?
He works 24 hours a week, and he does cover a shift.
So some of that shift pay is his as well.
Yeah, he works, say he gets 24 hours a week, he gets $500 a week, and so if you divide that out, it's like $20.83 an hour, which is, I'm sure, far less
So is
what
he just
makes.
getting his salary, or is he getting salary and some of the money from the shift?
He's getting salary and some of the money.
Yeah. He has to, he's required to cover two through his job, through his fire chief the fire chief EMT. Then he may pick up an additional shift, which somebody else could pick up if he says, if they wanted to, whatever.
And is that, would that be at the same rate or a higher rate? Because they're all different rates.
Yes, it would be at whatever rate he would qualify for. It wouldn't be the 2083 because part of this is.
You'd probably qualify at like one of the highest.
Yes, yeah. Let's see that.
Is there a way to get, I don't wanna sound like a jerk about it,
Yeah,
but
you do.
where he's a salary person? Cause it's the same thing of like when we were talking about the police chief years ago, of like, typically like a salary person is a salary person. So if you do 20 hours or 200 hours, like, and I know for the RSA for the police chief, if it's like a dual role, it's
But
different
he's
rules.
only part-time.
But yeah, so I just didn't know it's like where it's going from, he's now pulling from two lines potentially for the salary.
Well, he's pulling from his fire chief salary, which requires him to cover two shifts. And then if he so chooses to cover an additional one, then it comes from the EMF shift.
So it's above and beyond
Yes,
his.
it's above and beyond his requirements as a fire
It's
chief.
different,
Okay.
Scott is on his way.
All right, so we can start with highway, because I know
Well,
Dan.
actually,
Whoops.
uniforms.
For
What does
where?
that encompass?
For where?
Fire,
Fire, let me get back there.
She didn't mention that.
4220.
Oh, was it, what did he have, 4220?
No, he had 4,500, so I'm asking, what is that line? I mean, what,
Uniforms?
yeah, is that
So that
sweatshirts, is that
No, I think that's,
gear?
some of that's fire gear, and that some of it might be.
Is that turnout here too?
So is that,
I think it's whatever they are in need of, but also I think it may be sweatshirts as well to identify themselves.
so firefighting equipment would be,
I think
That would probably be like firefighting equipment, that could be like hoses
okay.
and stuff like, yeah.
So the uniforms would be what they wear and the equipment would be what they use.
Potentially, yeah.
well, okay. Well, because I know the uniforms aren't like turnout gear.
No. Well, no, it's not,
It's-
no, but I mean, we could go pull that and see what some of that is, that some of
Well,
that.
that's what I'm trying to understand.
Isn't there a CRF for like turnout gear and stuff like that they?
Not specifically, we did just set up a one for fire equipment and, maybe it might be gear.
Because they just got all new gear. for the
Yeah,
past
well, because
couple
like, I
years.
think one
Well, what's it?
gear is like $4,500, one
One-
set of gear is like.
There was
three-
one firefighter who, or at least one firefighter that didn't have the gear that
Right.
Jay was looking at.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to figure out if.
Well, to dress one firefighter, it's about $4,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
Right, which is why
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand if that's what this is.
And I know that, we've got now, I think Jared says, I think they have like 22 people on
Yeah, they got a lot
roster.
of people, yeah.
So,
But those people are like active people too, right? They're not like.
no, the 22 are active.
Their names,
Between
they're,
EMS.
they're not like just names.
Right,
They're
no,
actually
I think the people who are not fully participating have taken off.
have left, departed.
Good evening, chief.
How are you?
Great.
And wait.
4210.
Have to make a correction. Oh, yeah. Nothing. I got power right here, but.
I probably don't need this at all.
You can sit in the corner.
Well, I'll just fire it up.
You can come sit right there if you want.
Scott, do you need an extension cord, man?
Well,
I have an extension cord right here.
the battery should work.
Well-
Charged.
Maybe you just gotta
power button.
She turned it on. Is it plugged in?
Hit the power.
I hate it when IT says, did you turn on the computer?
Scott, you?
Duh.
No, we're good.
No, of course I did. Like, is it plugged in?
Says
Like,
it.
okay, yes, you stupid question.
Okay. We did that one. We've done that one. I gotta follow
I don't know why it needed to be plugged in to start, but it's 97% charge.
Probably use it.
Second hand. Or maybe third.
I'm sure it wasn't used if it was third hand.
Well, it definitely came third hand.
They probably just took the plastic off of it.
Cut it out.
All right, well,
Could edit that.
Cut it out.
I know I gave you guys my budget proposal,
Yeah.
a number of months ago, so.
Yeah.
I am at your leisure. Does everyone have a copy?
No.
I didn't bring copies.
I do.
I have it
Prepared.
somewhere.
I'll share.
It is, it's like, he used like every color the printer offers. Yellow?
Yellow.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easily identifiable.
It's
Yeah.
easier to read than
Right
the
here.
blue. It was really appreciative.
Right here, Scott.
Trust me, no offense, I did it for myself too. It's
No,
easier
I
for
like
me to look at quickly.
bright colors.
I'm a
Except
whisperer.
for the
Shiny things.
I know.
Sorry.
You and your darn blue.
It's conditional formatting. It is. You start whenever you'd like, sir.
All right, well, you want me just to go through it line by line?
Yeah.
For you guys? All right. So the first line is line 10, 4210. 10, that's police chief salary. The only increase to that line is a 3% pay increase, and that was, the 3% number came from the national average, COLA average for the United States. So that was where we came up with that number.
Chief, somebody mentioned to me that when you were hired, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, I'm
Yep.
just gonna bring it up, that when you were hired, that you wouldn't request an increase in salary for a couple of years?
For the first year.
And how long have you been here?
It's actually been a year.
Right.
December 24th, I was sworn in.
I thought you were
So here you are.
Well, it was,
I was sworn in December 24th because Randy
Yep.
was going back to Florida, but my actual, I came in and assumed the position in the office on January 2nd.
Okay.
I was in the office before that, but I actually went out on patrol and into the community on the 2nd. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so you've been here for a year.
Yep.
So isn't that the 1 year that you requested a salary, or you?
2025.
a salary
It's only a
increase?
2-year contract, so the first year was no pay increase because the contract was signed and put into effect before the budget was approved.
Yeah.
If the budget had gone for pay increases in it did, in essentially 2025, whatever that pay increase was, I was not going to get.
right.
Oh, I see, so within the first year?
Yeah.
That was what you agreed to?
Because we went under contract prior to the budget even coming into play, it was discussed, so if at town meeting raises were given, I would not receive them.
I understand, okay.
He's true salary.
He's been true salary.
Yes.
You have been true salary.
Oh, yeah,
You have not taken any,
I've taken 0 overtime.
and that's a huge difference. If you look back in time,
And I've
previous
averaged
police chiefs have made a significant
Sure
amount
did.
of money on time and a half and double time and everything else versus where this new chief hasn't.
I believe it was anything over 43 hours was paid at overtime for previous.
I average,
Why is any previous salaried chief given time and a half?
Excellent question.
That's a
Can tell
good
you.
question.
well, it comes
Per
in,
RSA.
it comes into the statutes and into the RSA. Like in my contract, there is the ability for overtime, but it reads in there that it will be mutually agreed upon between myself and the selectman before it's worked, unless this is a case of an emergency where that communication can't occur.
Do you do any details?
I do on occasion, not many. I
And
think
is
I,
that paid on top of separate?
that's,
from-
yeah, that's.
Because we paid Randy out of there as well.
Oh,
'Cause
Was that like a-
Randy got paid out of there this year.
Why?
that first
Because
week.
he came back, he was, because of the way that payroll landed last year.
Is your detail rate a set detail rate
We
or
can
is
pull
it,
it for
Yeah,
you.
it's set for the
Even
department.
if that's the case, any time that he had,
No, no matter who does it.
well, because if he came in as chief in January and nobody else should have been paid out of that line for 2025, even if he worked that last week in December, again, that should be moved back to the previous year.
Not-
That's how it's supposed to be done. Yeah, it is.
Look, Jen? Jen? Auditor. I mean, it's all good.
I don't think Jen knows what she's talking about. Any other auditor would tell you that it needs to be moved back.
Your full-time line, is that for 2 people?
That line, so I'll go over that line with you guys real quick. So that line is a line that last year we cut from.
Yeah.
And the cuts from that line, so we originally had discussions on that line and potentially trying to move it to 140,000 for 2 full-time positions. Based on staffing at the time, I knew that even if we were to extend conditional offers within the first week of me taking the position, that we were still looking at probably 2 months before they were actually, backgrounds were done and they were actually on board. So I knew right off the bat that line was not going to be spent. So in discussions with the Board of Selectmen and others, we cut that line to help keep the overall town budget under the tax level. So you'll see there is a significant increase to that line because it goes from not only where we cut it, but it's actually bringing it back to where we were originally trying to put it last year, which was 140. So it's about a $27,000 increase. I do
But that's
kind-
for an officer and
that would be essentially for an officer and another supervisor.
2
Potentially.
full-time positions.
Yeah.
Two positions.
So the person can-
What would be the pay for the 2 positions?
So my look at that would be, and obviously I don't foresee anybody coming in at these rates, but realistically I'd like to be able to offer the full-time spot, which we already have filled, up to 60,000 and up to 80,000 for a supervisor. Which that position's been posted and we're still kind of sitting on it. We have some hopeful candidates in limbo right now, but
So, with just one officer, what goes uncovered?
so right now, when we have our part-timers, so when Randy is here during the summer months, and then we have another part-timer as well, but she's more of Randy is a dedicated weekend coverage for us. The other part-timers, and traditionally at this point in the game with part-time employment, yeah, they're cheaper, but they have obligations to their full-time agencies for the most part. So traditionally, you're talking like a shift a month, maybe. I put a prerequisite out there that I want to see at least 2 shifts a month from every part-timer, just to kind of make it worth our while to even invest in them. But traditionally, at this point, it's not like law enforcement was 10 years ago where you could supplement your force with part-time. Most officers are already, they're short-staffed everywhere. So most officers are working well beyond their 40 hours at their full-time agency, and they're most certainly not interested in coming and putting in 20 hours a week somewhere else as well. So you could supplement, but again, it's strictly that, it's supplement. It's not, if we have somebody on vacation, we'll utilize the part-timer to try and backfill some of those shifts, along with myself in the 3rd full-time position. But at the current staffing levels we have, which is myself and 1 other full-timer, and with Randy here, we were having coverage It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had coverage from about 7 a.m. until midnight. And then on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday, we had coverage basically 7 a.m. to 5. And then we have state police on call.
Say that again. So with two people working, you still had coverage from 7 a.m. till midnight?
With Randy here. So now with Randy,
That you guys covered?
yes.
So what was missing? What do you need coverage for outside of you and one others?
So if we pick up another full-timer, that'll essentially bring us back to the same coverage I just spoke with you about, and then will give us Randy to kind of supplement that. But again, Randy's typically only here, May through October.
I guess what I'm asking,
Real-
I'm
real-
not asking this in the right way.
Yeah.
Um,
Let me ask you this: what do you want for coverage? And I'll tell you what you need for numbers.
Yeah, no.
That's where it
I'm
boils
asking
down
right
to.
now, what pieces are we missing, is what I'm asking.
We're missing one full-time spot right now that we have.
I get that, but what hours of coverage are we missing?
So right now, today, this week, we have coverage 7 days a week until 6 p.m. 7 a.m. to, approximately 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. It varies in the mornings depending on whether I'm on or our other full-timers on. Her schedule is a little different than mine.
7 days a
Because you
week.
guys overlap some hours, but not.
We don't overlap, we only overlap on Monday afternoons
That's where all the fun happens.
right now. So she currently works 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then she works noon time till 10 p.m. on Monday evenings. I work, or I've been working, roughly 7 a.m. till about 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, for the most part, up until recent. If that, and then, like I said, so when Randy's here and I have him doing weekend coverage, then I can slide her to a straight evening. So when Randy was here and I didn't need coverage during the day on Saturday and Sunday, because I had Randy and others covering it, then at that point I had her working 2 to midnight. So then we had 2 to midnight basically rolling into the weekend and through the weekend on top of the days.
I guess part of the concern would be is that Randy is not always a guarantee.
No, I mean, I'll hear from Randy probably, I mean, when I spoke with him last week, he's planning on coming back again next summer. But that's hit or miss, a lot of things can change between now and then. So yes, so that line, the 42, I'm just gonna refer to it by number, the 42, 10, 12 line. That is basically a 60-80 split, with a 3% increase.
And what is our, your full-timer now, is she at 60,000 or?
She's just under. Yep. So we hired, and when we hired that, we did it in a progressive kind of plan. We had an end goal as far as an hourly rate. And what we did was we incrementally increased that as far as advancements through the field training process.
And the position you have listed now, is that a supervisor's position?
That, potentially, that's its hope. But again, we've had it posted for quite some time now.
So you said that's with a 3% increase.
I apologize, I looked at the number, I did not increase that line. Yeah.
I was gonna say she hasn't been on for a year yet, when you,
She'll be on for a year, June will be a year.
Right.
Her anniversary, yeah. But there's, in that 60 mark, there's still 3% there as far as for her. So that's why I didn't increase that.
Do we have to pay the state police for coverage at all?
We do not. We don't pay them, but there is a downfall to that. The troop commander in Troop A is very communicative with me. We stay in contact quite a bit. He was just here in town the other day. The problem is response times.
Yeah.
They're short-staffed like everybody else. We had a fairly major incident here in town a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And it happened at about 8:30 at night. State police was on call, and it was probably about 45 minutes before somebody got here. Luckily, I was unaware of it, but then about 20 minutes into it, I got a phone call at home, at which point I put my uniform on and came in. And I got here just as the first trooper was arriving on scene. So that's the downfall to it. We don't pay for it, but also
You're gonna pay for it and not
we're
respond.
secondary on their workload list. They will respond. They're not gonna respond out here for a dog complaint. You know, if somebody calls in, my neighbor's dog's in my yard, they're not, you know, if they have somebody available in the area, they will, but they're not gonna send a trooper from 101 to here.
Yeah, because Troop A is from Epping, right?
So Troop A covers basically from the Mass border to the Kittery border, and then it comes up to the Wakefield line, and then it goes out to Manchester on 101.
Do we not have any other towns that,
We have mutual aid with everyone else.
but they're short as well?
Everyone else is short-staffed as well, but also in the mutual aid agreements, it states very clearly in the statute that the requesting agency will be on scene to assess the agency and the need for assistance before requesting assistance.
So for not.
Does that always come into play? No. The reason I actually got a phone call at home the other night was because one of our neighboring agencies was going to respond, and they asked if I had been notified yet, and that's when I got the phone call. So then they staged at the town line, I arrived on scene and requested their response.
Is there any thought, because it used to be including the chief, 4 full-time officers in that department?
Yep.
Is there a thought at potentially ever upping that back to 3 full-times outside of you?
Oh, I think that would be ideal, but obviously financially,
Not right now, obviously.
you know,
You know, you have
Well,
to
we
get
can't
tax
even
the
cap.
tax caps and everything else, I mean, that's not even an avenue to explore. I don't imagine,
Yeah.
unless the townspeople wish to do that.
Probably not.
But with 4 full-timers, you could potentially provide coverage 7 days a week.
Yeah.
At least till, at
Well,
least
and
7
provided
a.m.
that
at
you
least
can
7 a.m.
fill
to
the
midnight.
positions.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of candidates that have inquired, nobody has officially applied, but I have had some inquiries and they do live local. So we'd be looking at potentially going back on call as well.
Yeah, that'd be it.
If those applicants do apply. Part-time line, I increased that. I was basically just off of the 3%. I did do some calculating there, just trying to figure out what we can cover for shift coverage with that dollar amount. And that dollar amount gives us about 2 shifts a month, give or take. You know, during the summer months, we kind of use a little bit more of that part-time line than we do in the winter months. But the population in town increases considerably as well during those summer months. On-call pay, basically just increased that as well with 3%. But again, it all depends on applicants.
How many hours of on-call is it?
Is this number?
Yeah.
So this number here, it would depend, but ultimately, I'll give you our kind of a,
Because is it 1 hour of pay?
if they get called out. So if they get called out, they get 4 hours.
Okay, but if they don't,
If
they get 1 hour.
don't, it's ultimately 1 hour of pay.
And then how many hours, is it just a 6-hour gap or 7-hour gap between?
So it would depend on staffing. You know, again, with 3 people, you're probably not going to cover that. If you were to try and go and, you know, basically provide all your own coverage without state police, with that number. But ultimately, my hope is that number would give us enough to provide coverage on the busier nights, on the more anticipated nights, you know, Friday night, Saturday night,
New Year's Eve.
a
4th of
Thursday.
July.
Yeah, and depending upon the months, you know,
Every holiday that they have 5
right
hours.
now on a Monday evening, you know, I guess the best way to put it is it's a crapshoot. You have nothing go on, or you could have a very major incident, and you just gotta kind of guess and plan as best you can based on the staffing level that you have, and what would be the best coverage for the town to provide those services. Under the secretary line, that's again just a 3%. And I'm not even using my cheat sheet. Cleaning, that's a set fee. I'm not aware of any increase to that. Kim, you might know better than I, but she hasn't mentioned anything to me on that.
No.
So,
The cell phone stipend, you jumped that line, that's gonna stay the same, 600, Scott?
Yep.
Sorry.
Do you do a prepaid phone too, or your
No.
own
No.
personal?
my
Okay.
own person. Let's see.
Just go back to the, I don't, maybe I missed you talking about it, the overtime line.
Yep.
I'm sure we had no overtime because we didn't have a staffing, but is that a typical amount that we would spend if we do have staff?
They used to spend more. They used to spend, when our old police chief was pulling overtime, they used to spend a lot more.
So I look at that line as ultimately it all breaks down to staffing, you know. So we may have the full-time line where we funded that line, but maybe for the first 3 months we had a vacancy. Well, at that point, especially with part-timers and really not getting a lot of workload out of part-timers, I'm gonna be putting out overtime shifts to eventually try to still provide coverage for the community. So, do I think that number is, do I think if we were approving that number that we would spend it all? If we were staffed to our capacity that we're budgeted for, no, I don't think we would. But if we're not, then yes, there's the potential.
Dues, I think we're at, Scott.
Dues, okay. I'm gonna read those real quick.
How many hours does the secretary do?
16 a week, 32 a week. So she's here 4 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And then she goes upstairs.
Or part-timer,
Yeah.
What's that?
our part-time employee, or part-time police officer.
Yeah.
How many hours are they doing right now?
So obviously Randy's doing none.
Right. But do we have somebody else too?
Amanda's right now got 1 shift scheduled for January.
Is she able to go out on her own now?
My hope is that after this shift in January, she will.
So she's still not able to go? And on average, she does only 1 shift or more?
My guess is that once she's out on her own, she knows that I require at least 2 shifts a month. So
How much are we paying our part-time guys, girls, people?
So that is based on experience. God, I just looked these numbers up the other day. Don't quote me on it, but I believe 0 to I believe 0 to 10 years with a full-time cert, not a part-time cert, is 28 an hour.
Okay.
10 to 15 years with a full-time cert is 29, and 15 years plus experience with a full-time cert is 30.
So you've beefed up the pay quite a bit for part-time, because
Yes.
it's 21,
Yep.
As it should be.
yeah, which I have, because it's typically when you're
At
part-time.
$21 an hour, we
No,
would get
you're
a
not getting
single
it.
person.
Well,
No.
I always found it funny that we pay the part-time so low, because typically you would pay your part-time people or per diem people a little bit more because they're not getting the benefits and retirement pay.
Right.
So you're kind of saving yourself money because the
Right.
retirement alone, as you know.
Yeah.
Just going back to the secretary line real quick.
Yep.
Is there a reason it went up 11%?
What's that, from 24 to 25?
25 to this year, 26.
The 16,640 to 18,
18.
because I think the prior secretary wasn't making, she's new this year, so this was filled by This was filled previously. Last year's budget, the 16,640 was not based off of the salary that the current secretary is
It's a
making.
different person.
What does the current secretary make?
$20.50.
They make 20.
So they took
Okay.
originally, the
So same thing,
2025
so
budget is based on the old secretary.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year, they took in, or actually, leading into the fall, I guess, they took
Yeah.
and combined the treasurer's position and the secretary to make it more hours. So she works downstairs for 4 hours, and then she works up in the treasurer's office, but that's on a different budget.
So she works 16 hours for you.
Yep, she works 16 hours a week.
Okay. So the number under the 2026 department headline is wrong, because it's at 18,425, so it should be 17,904 or 17,905.
Which line is that?
For the secretary?
Oh.
Police secretary?
Yeah.
So that number is based on, it's still that one.
Well, only, so like, cause 1660, so the person, they make 2050 right now, with a 3%, it would be 2112 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
So,
it'd come out to 17,905.
so her hourly rate currently is.
$20.50. That's my understanding. I have to look to, that's what I believe it is $20.50 an hour. Oh, we can look right there. I might have that wrong.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, that'll help, because I don't think that's the number I was getting.
So 17,905?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
if the current is at 2050. With the 3%, because she get a 62-cent raise.
2050, $20.50. Yep.
Okay.
Good check.
Yeah, thanks.
So I heard what, 21,
21, what, 2112?
and 2160.
What?
That's 2160.
Times 1.03, 2050, it's, no, 21.115, it's 2112.
Yeah. I don't know where you did your.
Just rely on the two math people.
Yeah, oh,
I
yeah,
have 2112.
okay,
That sounds right.
good, yeah. I'm glad he verified that for us.
Wait. Oh, no, that's still not that right.
Training, Scott?
16
Oh,
hours.
sorry.
That's, no. Still not. Wait, that's still.
All right, training, or actually dues.
Oh, yeah, dues. 2,100.
So 41, these are actually our dues that we pay to Stratford County for the SWAT team. And that's all that comes out of that line. So that 2,500 is based on the fee that we paid this current year. And in speaking with the sheriff, there'll be no increase to that.
So is the 2,000 that's in there, we just haven't paid another installment, or?
Yeah, right now, all that's in there is 2,000, Scott.
No, so it was, there's a few changes in here. So that was formally billed out of another line. And it was applied to that line in the current budget. And I've moved it to dues because that's what it is, it's a due.
So, I'm sorry, where did it come out of before?
I don't know off the top of my head, if I was to guess,
What is it?
say,
Dues.
SWAT teams. It's in another line, it's split between both lines
Yeah.
and other lines.
I believe they
I worked
did
with
for
Fiscal.
equipment.
We can take a look.
I believe they took it out of equipment because they were taking out the IMC services out of that as well.
So I guess my question is, if it's 2,500 for the SWAT team
Yep.
fees, something else for $2,000 was taken out of that line. So So should that not be 2,500 plus whatever else you're paying out of dues?
No, so.
They only spent 2,000 out of that line.
I get that, but he said that the dues for the SWAT team was taken out of a different line this year. So if it's taken out of a different line,
So
then
then
there's
there's no
2,000
2,000
spent
from
on dues.
So what's
then
the
we're gonna be
2,000?
overspent on 2,000.
Yeah.
No, because I think I actually moved
And say we moved it.
that line around. We'll probably get to that as we get through. Because you'll see some of these lines have changed dramatically. So there was stuff being taken out of lines that actually had, like toilet paper. Where would you take toilet paper out of on this budget?
Your uniform.
There's no line description here in the budget lines itself. are so small.
That's good.
If I had the ability, I would expand this budget. I would probably add 15 more lines to it
Toilet paper line.
and reallocate different funding to give you a better perspective. But like right now, we take those expenses, such as toiletries and what have you, and they come out of office supplies.
That would be typical, I would think.
Office supplies to me would be pens, pencils, paper, things that you're using for the office.
That's where we
I like
take
taking
it off.
So that was kind of some of the issues that we're gonna tackle as we get through this budget. But there was stuff being taken out of lines that really made no sense because they had nothing to do with the line it was coming out of from previous administrations. And so I tried to move things around so it made a little more sense. So as far as the dues line go, basically the only thing I'm taking out of there is the Stratford County. What could have possibly come out of there in the
Stratford
past?
County SWAT.
SWAT. What could have come out of there in the past and is probably, I'd have to look real quick, but it could be the dispatch.
It was the radios, or the computers and the,
Yeah,
that's what was coming up before.
yeah.
Because I had to sit
Yeah.
down and figure that out.
And I've moved that. And I moved that under, I believe it was equipment.
Well, that would make
There are no other dues that you have in here.
As far as the budget goes, so the obligations that we have, so like Lexapol, which is Police One training, it's an online training program. I think they were taking that out of dues as well, but I moved that to training because it would make more sense for that to come out of training. So like Lexapol, that was something that I believe they were taking out of dues because it is an annual expense, but it's training. That's what it is. So that was one that I moved from there in this 2026 budget. I moved it under training. And then a couple of these other lines like dispatch, our fee for dispatch was actually coming out of the municipal budget. So I took that and moved it under the police budget. Just for the simple fact of, it gives you a better depiction of what the police department costs.
So let me ask this question, because you mentioned training. So this year you spent 1,220.
Yep.
You have 1,200 for your upcoming.
Yep.
So are you not, is something going down?
Nope.
Are you not doing something?
Nope, I actually, this year, so there was a training that came available, that was $750 for Taylor to send her to FTO school.
Okay.
Excuse me. That was not something that I would anticipate her actually doing until probably next year, this 2026, or into 2027. But given that we had the money, I sent her to that training so that she could get the certification. So that way there, as we transition over the course of the next year, she's prepared and ready for it, and I don't have to put it in my budget because she's already got it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, just trying to pre-plan for the future. I was looking at that class for 2026, and I noticed that they had one available in 2025 in November. So I asked her if she could arrange for childcare and what have you and go, and she said yes. So we made it happen now, although we won't use essentially that certification for her probably until later into 2026.
Does she have to keep up anything for that certification, or is it just like?
For FTO?
Yeah.
It's you gotta take a refresher course. I think it's every 2 or 3 years.
Oh, so it's not happening, okay.
No. But there's no other requirement as far as obtaining, that's not an annual cert or anything like that.
That's good to have though.
Yeah.
It's very good to have, because I was the only one that could train, so
Right.
this kind of.
And she could take it with her when she goes. Yeah.
Yeah, once she completed that, like she's working in, Amanda's working in January, she's working
Yeah.
with Taylor.
Yeah, which, yeah, that's great.
So,
And does she have to have that certification to be able to,
To do the FTO.
to train, like, to be with?
to
that
train other
person?
officers.
Yeah.
There's no rule that requires it, but from a liability standpoint, absolutely.
Smart.
So that's why I felt comfortable with that line on training and only keeping it. So basically, that's gonna cover Lexipol, and then that leaves us some money in there as far as for mileage, if officers need to go to training, and it leaves us a couple $100 if there's an outside source training that comes available that we wanna go to. But for the most part, other than major certifications, most of them are offered through the police academy for free. It's just a question of when they're gonna offer it. So most of our training will be through Lexipol, which is accounted for in that, and through the police academy.
I have a question for you, only because you brought up mileage. Obviously, you don't have a line for mileage. But why, if an officer is going to training, why wouldn't they take one of our vehicles?
Well, I was just gonna say, but I don't typically wish that they take their personal vehicle.
It would make more sense for them to
so-
take a town
Yeah,
vehicle.
take a cruiser,
Yeah.
which
okay.
is what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we did have, like, the secretary went to NIBR's training,
Yep.
so she put in for mileage. I took her mileage out of the training,
So yeah, because you don't have a mileage line.
because I can't let her drive a cruiser.
Right. Well,
She'd like to.
why not?
She doesn't like sirens.
Put under her.
Uniform line, that's increased. Couple reasons why. One is,
Nobody was busy.
the Leahy grant is no longer, at this point, hasn't been opened even for 2025 yet. So I'm guessing it's probably not gonna open for 2026, which is a 50% reimbursement on ballistic vests. A ballistic vest alone is $1,600 because we bought one this year for Taylor. I was fortunate, mine is still good for a couple more years, the state let me keep it. So.
If for some reason we have Taylor leaves,
Yep.
if she goes to a different department
Yep.
and she wants, would we let her take that vest?
That would be up to the selectmen. Typically, in those situations, if they ask, in a traditional standpoint, they'll usually let you take it until your new agency purchases you a vest, and then you'll bring it back, like.
I thought they were
'cause it
only fitted
takes-
for each individual.
They're fitted for each individual for the most part, but if you hire somebody that's around the same physique, it's something that you can use. Like Taylor, when we first hired Taylor, I found a vest in there that somewhat fit her. And that's something that's better than nothing. But it takes typically 8 to 12 weeks from the point of measuring, sizing, to actually have a vest in hand. So I incorporated the purchase of the vest into that uniform line as well for potentially the full-time position that we're gonna be looking to hire. Traditional uniform, these expenses are fairly expensive. We have explored multiple options as far as uniforms go, and at this point, I think we're probably wearing the best bang for the buck. Meaning, in other words, the uniforms that we're currently wearing do not require dry cleaning. They're washable at home. They hold up very well. I wear tested them before we ordered them. I was able to get the company to give me some wear test. But again, it's still expensive. A pair of pants is $108. A shirt is $87 for one pair of pants and one shirt.
But at least they're Velcro name now, so you can.
Yeah, that's the other thing we did
It
is
could be gone now.
we changed all the identification marks on the Velcro because we have quite a bit over there that's embroidered.
Yeah.
Which we'll still try to use if we hire people within the same size. We'll just put we'll just sew a Velcro tape over it. But some of them, they embroidered the badge as well,
Yeah.
we're not doing that anymore. I just have badge tabs put on all the shirts. So that's the major increase on that line, is just incorporating a ballistic vest. Chief's uniform, I don't know if you have to put $1 there to hold it, but I don't see the point to the line, so I don't have any money in it.
Get rid of it.
Because if I need a uniform, or if an officer needs a uniform needed, we can just come out of uniforms. Vehicle maintenance and repairs, that's a line that last year we went to 3,000. It kind of bit us because we didn't know the condition of the cruisers. So once I got in and got all the cruisers through the shop and other places to get them equipped and fixed and what have you, at this point I think we're in a very, very good spot. I don't anticipate any major repairs. Basically just oil changes and routine maintenance. We did go ahead and purchase new tires for the cars this year because we had the money in the budget. So I don't anticipate the purchase of any tires or anything in 2026. So I felt very comfortable being in that line where it was, even though we overspent it.
Are we still at 5 or 6 cruisers?
We're down to 4.
4?
We have 4 cars.
And are you gonna start using, like, once you build up that detail fund,
So we never touched the detail fund.
are you gonna, like, use that to help with, like, maintenance and stuff?
So my thought here, and the reason I feel comfortable with this 3,000 mark, is because of the detail fund and the fact that we did not expend any money out of it here in 2025. So if we do have a major catastrophic failure, we're in a position that we can go to that fund to take care of it.
The cruiser that you purchased was supposed to be paid for by the detail fund.
Originally it was, and then as the year progressed, and by the time it finally came in, I went before the Board of Selectmen, we had the money in the budget, so we went ahead and purchased it out of the budget. And that way there, it leaves that detail fund available, so that if we do have a catastrophic failure, or at the point in the next few years down the road that we decide to buy another car, we have that money to do it. There's enough money in there at this point that we can buy another car. I don't know necessarily outfitted, but we can definitely purchase it.
Someone needs an outfitted cruiser.
What's that? I don't know it to the dollar, but it's roughly 52,000, 53,000. We've had a few details over the last couple of weeks, so I don't know the exact number, but it's give or take in the little things. Vehicle fuel, the only reason there's an increase there is one, in the anticipation of filling these full-time positions, and also the cost of food.
Now, you only spent 4,000 in there,
We did, that was basically just me. So.
but you still had from June till.
We had from June till now in Taylor.
Right,
You gotta
and then
remember-
you had Randy over the week, over the.
You had Randy over the weekends, on a Saturday, but also Taylor was hired in June. She didn't actually go out on her own until late August.
Right.
So
And now it's
realistically,
the
we have
weekends.
September, October, November with Taylor. Essentially, her cruiser taking fuel out of there as well. So, do I think that we can sharpen our pencils on that a little bit? Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
How much more does Tahoe do in fuel compared to the others?
So the Tahoe gets about the same fuel mileage as the Chargers. So I don't anticipate a big change there. On average, I'm filling in once, at this point, I think I've filled it maybe 3 times. And we have about 1,300 miles on
So that was to go back down to 9,000.
it. Yep. That will work. I can make that work. I just don't know what fuel's gonna do in 2026 as far as cost. That's all.
And
Okay.
potentially, if you
Because
become
we-
fully
because we
staffed
don't-
and do detail.
Fully staffed in details, but because we don't lock into a contract, like this, like a state bid contract, if the price of fuel goes up, correct me if I'm wrong, our price with Dead River goes up. So if fuel goes to $3.80 a gallon,
So maybe that's something the town should look into.
So-
I mean, if you're really concerned about fuel, which I always worry about fuel with the guys doing the plowing, if there's a lot of snowstorms.
It's just one of those things you can predict it as close as you can, but there's always that volume of unknown when it comes to patrol.
I guess I'm just looking at the year to date as opposed to
Yep.
what he's got presented, and he's not even half budget for fuel, so.
But he was less than half staffed. And no detail.
I understand that, which is why we can't really say where we're gonna be. Man, we could come back next year, be here, and.
Still have that vacancy.
Right.
We could.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I base
$7,000.
this budget on us
No,
being
it's not
fully
a big
staffed.
deal, yeah.
And I'm hopeful that that happens in the very near future, but it's, again, just like petroleum, it's one of those unknowns.
And I agree, I think the 9,000 is doable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of which run numbers.
Equipment. So that's where you see quite a difference, because that's where I've kind of moved money out of. Because there was stuff that they were taking out of the equipment line that was better suited in different lines. And there were some other things that we did away with, as far as, like, I know you questioned dues. So like the former chiefs, they subscribe to all of the chiefs of police associations, the national, the state, all of those. I don't subscribe to any of them. I'm still involved in the email threads, the communications and everything else, but I don't have my official identification card to say I'm a national member or a state member. Give you a better explanation on 65 real quick. So the decrease in this line is Central Square, which is our IMC service. And the reason you see a decrease there is because you'll see under 91, I've moved that. So I've basically taken that from the equipment line and I've moved it to office equipment. And the reason I did that is because it's our database system for the computers. I look at equipment more like the measuring tapes and all the other equipment that we have in the cars, as opposed to what we actually use in the office to function. Radio repairs, I just kept that at $250. At this point, I don't anticipate us needing any radio repairs. I think what that was formerly is in years past, I think that they use that line for programming. Because the quotes I got for programming, as far as with the new cruiser and the portables, they ranged from $100 to $200, $300. But we do have a resource down at Stratford County Sheriff's Department now. Gentleman down there is capable and has all the equipment to do it. So he's been programming all of our radios at no cost to us. All right. Line 70. So you'll see there's an increase there. That line accounts for the cellular service to the MDTs and the cruisers. And I moved the Stratford County Dispatch, line 429991, which is the municipal. I moved that to this line, to the 421070. So that line incorporates our cost to Stratford County Dispatch for services. Now it incorporates that.
Is that the actual amount, the
Yes.
actual bill? And
Yep.
then for the.
Well, there's in that line right now is the cellular service for the MDTs and our fee to dispatch.
And is that cellular fee for the MDTs, is that actual numbers, or
Yes.
is there a potential of it going?
No, that's actual numbers. Yep.
So,
And I pulled the actual number from Stratford County because, like I said, the sheriff said there'd be no increases. So I just moved that out of the municipal and I moved it over to the communications line out of the police. 76 I decreased, and that was just based on usage. Kind of we've changed some things around in the department. So we're not using as much paper, we're doing a lot more digitally. And we've kind of changed our operations within the department a little bit. So I decreased that line, and I'm very comfortable with that 750 not being an issue. We did try to pre-plan, given our current budget for 2026, so we did purchase some items that ultimately would come out of that line here in 2026. Some items that don't expire that we can use, file folders, things like that. The prosecution line zeroed out because I will still continue our prosecution.
Is that
So-
investigated? Or
No,
that's
it's
a new
not
line.
because it got absorbed into his salary, so.
So, I don't know if you need to put a dollar there to hold it, but.
No, they got rid of it. It's
All right.
gone.
It's gone.
Too late.
As far as that goes, prosecution's been working very well for us.
How often are you prosecuting?
So I had some older cases that were here before I started. So probably midsummer I was there maybe once a week for probably 2 hours just clearing up some older stuff. At this point, we've gotten everything current to date. I think we only have 2 cases pending in course right now. I have a trial next week, and then we have one that actually she's absconded, so we won't deal with it until she's here. 421091, that's our copier contract, and that's also the new line where I moved our Central Square payment to, and now our generator service. So previously we were servicing, the generator was being serviced, and I think it was coming out of the full municipal, if we were wrong, I think it was. Now we're splitting it because it does service the police department and the municipal office.
So previously it was what was in there?
What's that, in the 421091?
Yes.
That was previously just the copier.
Of a copier.
Yep.
Which
So
is Central
is-
Square, right?
So now, what's that?
What's Central Square? Is that?
Central Square is IMC.
Okay, well, no, I'm just saying, okay.
So did the copier expenses increase?
Copier
more than
staying,
the-
no, copier staying the same.
So the.
We've moved money from different lines into that line.
Yeah.
So
That's
we
more
did
appropriate.
1,200, but we
Yep.
spent 17.
Yep.
So was that was just the copier that went over 500?
No, I believe we took a couple other things towards the tail end of the year out of that line. But now the 4850 is our copier contract, our Central Square contract, and our portion of the annual generator service.
And those are actual numbers, not estimated?
Yep. Ammunition, I kept that funded, is level funded.
And I see you spent more this year, you overspent that line.
We did. So we,
Purchased the
when we
new guns.
purchased the new guns, it was the only line I could see that was appropriate for trying to expend that.
So you don't see a
purchase.
reason why we should have to worry about this moving forward.
No, I mean, I am, honestly, that line right there, my only anticipation of coming out of that line here in 2026 would be if we were by new duty animal. We have plenty of practice and surplus. The only thing that we're limited on is duty. And I traditionally like to change duty animal once a year. So when they shoot their annual qualifications, I typically have them shoot their duty animal, reissue new duty animal.
We need to purchase more firearms for the new officer?
No, we bought 8. So we have 8 in the armory. Well, we don't, we have 4 in the armory, there's 4 issued. Investigative funding, that's a new line. We kind of came into that line because this year when we hired 2 officers, we had to incorporate their physicals and their testing from the doctors, their psychological examinations, all of the hiring costs associated with hiring an officer. And we really didn't have any line that you could put something like that under.
Do we cover the cost for their like their medical physicals, like if it was like a DOT?
Yes.
We do.
Yeah, so if you were to apply as an officer and we were to extend a conditional offer, that condition would be upon you passing a physical, psychological exam, et cetera, but we pay for that in that hiring process.
So
So,
what does the background check come out of that?
what's that?
The background check, what would the background check come out of that?
Well, I do the background check.
That's in a separate
It's a different kind of
department.
background check.
Different background checks, police.
Yeah, so I can run triple I's for officers and what have you for a background check. For town employees, I can't run town employees.
I thought you
They
said
go
that,
through work.
the background check for the new officer came out of that other line as well.
New employees when we were going under background checks, but not officers.
So in that line this year, that what we took out of there, this year, I'm not sure,
Right.
do they have a printout as of today? Well,
What?
actually, it wouldn't be in there today, because we just got the bill today. So in that line right there, what you see, the $446.99, that covers 2 physicals and 2 psychological examinations.
Did you ever think about maybe changing the name of that line?
Well, I did.
Only like,
So basically what we did was
maybe like
I
recruitment?
said, can you give me a line that's not being used so that we can track what these costs are to actually hire?
So would that be just
I
like?
think you
So
change
this
it.
investigative funding line was a line that was already on the budget.
Yeah.
We just used it to charge those.
So is that for like all
I think
new
you can change
hires?
it.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I
you-
would change it.
Can we change
You
it?
can
New
change it.
hire?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Recruitment would probably be
I
better.
didn't name it, that's what it was
Okay.
already named. I just charged those expenses to it, so
That's
that I
not
can
funny.
keep them separated and know what that is. That's
Just-
all.
And when you guys send them out, like for physicals and stuff, do you guys send them to like a specific place or,
I've been using the Ready Care over and over, because I go with them.
so it's like a contracted amount that you're logged
Yes,
in on?
they charge us a set fee for the job physical. And then just so everybody knows, so we did charge to that line as well, today, for an investigative case that we had here in town, where we incurred an expense of $1,200 for outsourced work. So I've gone ahead and charged that to that line. So if you get a final expenditure budget here in the coming weeks, you're gonna see that line is gonna have an additional 1,200
No,
on
it's
it.
not.
But that is
I'm
not
gonna see
something
it on
that
public come
is,
up
that is
with
not
for
something
that.
that's associated with hiring.
So do
Again,
you
we-
still need an investigative funding line?
no,
Or is this just a one-time?
No, it's just-
This was a cost that essentially probably could have been absorbed municipality-wise as opposed to, the police department, but because we had the money in our budget,
Right.
I went
Oh,
ahead and
yes.
covered
This
the
is
expense.
Yes,
This was for the forester,
yeah.
so, and we charged it to that line, just so that it was separate, so you knew what it was.
You can't charge to a line that doesn't actually exist.
Well, it exists.
It does not exist in the budget of
It
2025.
wasn't.
Oh.
Because there's nothing budgeted to it, you can't actually charge anything to that line,
I was told it existed.
just so you know. But
So that is why I used it.
I was like, it's not gonna be there on the end of this month.
So.
Kim
well,
is
you can
not
re-
gonna fail me.
You can rename it, you can do whatever you'd like to it.
See, it's not you, it's them.
And then
It's
on the
the
bottom of my
department
budget,
heads.
you'll see, I just have on there the line where the municipal line where we actually pulled the dispatch funding from. Just for reference point. So you'll see the last line on there, it's actually not a police budget, there's no numbers associated, Stark County Dispatch.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have.
We don't have
Yeah.
it in there.
Oh,
you're good.
that's just to show you that that's the municipal line where we took that.
Oh,
number
right, we've still
from.
that.
Yeah.
We have.
We talked about that before you came in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if, this budget as an overall whole, if you take away the increase / decrease from last year on the full-time line, and then you actually take away the money that we've moved from municipal budget to police budget, et cetera, you know, basically where we washed it. I think,
You would be under.
it's about a $6,500, $7,000 increase to the actual budget.
Yeah, it's not.
Hmm?
Yeah, no, I agree, that's.
So,
Consider what we're getting for services.
Yeah.
and then we did have,
Good services now.
you know, some ideas as far as that full-time line as well, so.
Sounds good to me.
Any other questions for Scott? Okay, so we just have left the
Yes,
highway.
thanks, Scott.
And we can go through that.
Just blow right through it, right?
Yeah, you know it. I'm running out. Dan's, I don't know if he's still out in his truck or he's got out there. So I think for the road agent sal, so that's 4311. Just wanna make sure everybody's in the right spot. So the road agent, the highway full-time in the overtime, I'm not sure what Dan had initially put in, but I put in, it's just a 3% increase because we talked about that. And he knew, he's like, whatever we decide, so right now that's got it at a 3%. Dues and workshops, that's remaining at 300. Most of this I think is all flat, there's no really increases. The gas is staying at 3,000. Highway diesel is staying at 18,000. Vehicle repairs is staying at 20. Vehicle equipment supplies is 5,000. Hot top coal patch is 1,500. Culverts is 3,000. Salt is 41,000. Office supplies is remaining at 100. Rental equipment is remaining at 7,000. Plow edges is remaining at 5,000. Signs is remaining at 1,200. Shop supplies is remaining at 1,800. Uniforms are remaining at 1,800. Highway seasonal, that's staying at 15,000. We can circle back to that in a minute. Highway tree pruning, that's staying at 9,000. Safety equipment is staying at 1,000. Calcium chloride, that's staying at 4,000. In drug testing, this is the one that's, he has it staying at 5. I would suggest that we change this to, say, maybe 850.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only one.
Did that go up because the person, if somebody got called up more?
No, I think it's just the prices, the
Pricing.
cost of it,
Pricing.
yeah. It's gone up, so,
So what does safety equipment entail?
I'm sorry, wait a minute. Safety equipment, that would be like,
think there's
fluorescent shirts,
So what's the difference
sweatshirts.
between that and uniforms?
Uniforms are,
Uniforms are like their hoodies, their t-shirts, things like
Pants.
that.
safety equipment would be like anything like day glow, like, you know, a jacket, a winter jacket that's day glow, sweatshirt.
I think
that's
also
day
the
glow.
harnesses when they get hoisted up on that thing to
Yeah.
do the flags.
That type of stuff, whereas
Or
the
they're-
uniforms are pants and that's an allocation for.
The chaps.
No, uniforms, there's allocation for pants and t-shirts.
I know.
Pants and shirts. Now, I do know, okay, so I do wanna go back to say the highway seasonal, right now we have one highway seasonal and that line entails both the straight pay and overtime. Anything that we pay the highway
Okay.
seasonal all comes out of the highway seasonal line.
So if they get a sweatshirt that's blue, that's part of the uniform. If they get a sweatshirt that's bright yellow,
That
that's
would be safe, yes.
safety equipment.
Right, so the uniforms, I can tell you, the uniforms is Kim cuts a check, usually after, you know, May or whatever, once the budget's been approved and by town meeting, cuts a check for $600 per employee. They get the money to go out and buy work clothes, uniforms. Safety equipment would be is if they ordered something from, I'm gonna say Hawkins Safety Equipment down in Farmington, I think it's Hawkins. You know, that would be like the yellow vest, that would be, or chaps, you know, if they're out there, maybe hard hats or anything like that. That would go through the safety, that would go through the safety equipment. Because they used to have a uniform company come in, like UniFirst.
What about like Cintas does uniforms?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It was one of those where they used to get uniforms brought to the thing, whatever. and it just come to be, I think that became very expensive, and I think the
So
discussion
there is
was.
specific uniform that they're all supposed to do.
No, the uniform is for them to buy clothes to wear to work, which is what they call, which is what the uniform line is basically they get an allotment, $600, I think, per
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And they're to go out and buy clothes to
Boots.
specifically wear to,
Boots.
yes, boots, pants,
So
Work shirts.
the boots would not be part of safety.
No.
no.
No, like there
Right,
were boots that have like, I know like my friend's husband he now works for Rochester, but he worked for Portsmouth. And he would get like a couple $100 a year for like boots or shoes, and he'd go out and he'd buy his Chippewa boots that they would work. And then they would get so much money for like their pants and their shirts to wear.
But some of their safety boots, like the, if
But-
you're welding and stuff, and the
If it's
certain ones it comes
specific,
out,
yeah,
out
if
of the
it's-
safety line.
Yeah.
So we don't have a specific dress code for camp bike. We just give them $600 and go buy.
Well,
To wear clothes to work, specifically,
That
to
are
wear,
appropriate
yes.
this was all discussed a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, and
Yeah.
then we changed things and people pick out their own jeans and stuff.
But there's no requirement as to what, I mean, they
No,
could
correct. No, there is no requirement that says.
Levi's, whatever they want.
Correct, yes. Like some people prefer Carhartts, they might buy Carhartts. Some people might buy Wranglers, some people might buy Levi's or whatever, but it's just basically.
And we can't tell them that you have to, so wear this, you have to dress this way.
You could make it a policy and say you have to wear jeans and not khakis.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no, we don't have a dress code. We don't
Right.
have a dress code for our office.
That would be silly.
I'm just saying, we don't have, yeah, we don't have a dress code for any department that I'm aware of. anyways, not that I've seen.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
I-
your turn. Okay.
So say, is he not expecting that, safety equipment is gonna be up again this year? Is that stuff that he's?
well, I think given,
repurchase?
no, so I think given he had money in other lines, so he's under another line, so he could spend over in the safety equipment, and we want to make sure things get allocated to the correct lines. So that's how that, you know what I mean? And it's very similar to what Scott did with his budget. He overspent on lines that didn't, but because he knew he had money in other
Which
lines.
is, which I feel is smart because you aren't guaranteed that the following year you're gonna get that money back.
There's
So
no
it's
money
if you've
spent
got,
on, calcium chloride?
We have some bills that are coming in, so,
It just haven't been paid yet, no.
Bills coming in, would those go into the 2026 budget?
no,
No.
2025, Kim is, this whole packet right here has not hit this, in that black folder has not hit this budget yet. Hit the year-to-date actuals.
right.
Because I can tell you there's a salt bill in there for $9,000.
Sure. And then, vehicle repairs,
Yep.
so that it's,
Oh, it's 25, it's over?
yeah, it's close.
Yeah, I believe most of their vehicles are all new. They've used the block grant money and generosity of the taxpayers to use some unassigned. All of their vehicles are fairly new, so they don't anticipate that they'll go over.
So
I mean, he put
they-
this budget together, so.
Yeah, so were these vehicles that had to be repaired, were they eliminated, or they?
Yes, I believe one of them, it would cost us quite a bit of money. That was the one that they got rid of. We sold 2 of these trucks to open bid, and yes.
Was one of them one of like the pickup trucks, one of the smaller trucks?
No, they weren't too, they were too small. They weren't like a regular pickup, but they were like a.
One
What
bigger?
we call like a 1-ton kind of, or,
Is that the one that's always giving them a headache? We finally got rid of
if you
it.
said the name of it, I would be telling you, yes, that's it. But yes, so this is what he had provided. They were comfortable with the numbers with what he gave.
How many full-timers do we have?
Full-timers?
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 full-timers.
That are.
Well, we
all
have 2 regular full-timers, we have a full-time temporary,
Okay.
and then we have a seasonal, and then we have a another, I don't know, we have another employee that gets charged out of this line who is working only partial hours.
But out of the highway full-time
Yeah.
line, we have how many people?
Typically, there's 3 full-time highway guys.
No,
So
no,
the
no,
road-
no, no, wait a minute, no,
Oh.
no. You
The
have your
road
road agent,
Oh.
and then you have 2 full-time guys.
Right.
So we had a full-time person go out on workers' comp, so they were not getting paid. That's why there's such a big disparity there.
And is he still out on workman's comp?
He's only back on partial, he's back on partial work.
So do we have?
We have we hired a
Temporary.
full-time temporary person who's now getting charged out of that line, but we only hired him like 2 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah.
It wasn't very long ago, it was within this month, so, yep. Yeah.
So does that person get to collect benefits, insurance and stuff?
No, part of the deal is, they're just,
Well, the vacation time.
right, they're getting a regular rate of pay, and we offer them like 5 vacation days. They get no benefits,
Oh.
meaning, well, they don't get any help, dental, anything like that.
Because they're considered a temp? Is that how the workaround was?
Yes. Yes.
For all the lines that was significantly spent under,
For what?
is that?
Highway?
In highway,
Yeah.
is that because we didn't have that second full-time person driving around? I mean, I see the diesel,
The fuel is always just dependent on what your weather storms, like your snowstorms and stuff and whatnot. So that's, that's kind of depending on how much you have to go out. And most all of the vehicles we have over there are diesel, they wouldn't be a gas. I think the only thing that is gas is, the pickup. The truck that Dan drives.
that makes sense. What's highway seasonal?
That's our person that comes out and does the storms. They come out and work when, primarily he only comes out for storms.
Okay, so it's salary, it's,
No.
Well, didn't we also use that for the summer?
oh, I see what you're
Yes,
saying.
yeah, he's seasonal, so basically, yes.
Well, that was, yeah, it's 2 different people, but yeah.
Yeah, but
So he's
it's,
not a town employee, he just comes out and.
No,
he's
there's
a
not.
town
Still
employee.
a town
He's
employee.
a town employee, but he gets no benefits other than, he works primarily he works during storms, but he may come in, like in the summer, because we were down a guy, Dan had him come in and do some hauling or whatever. I think Jim might have been on vacation, so, then you're down to one guy and you can't do it all.
And the regular and OT for that person comes out of that line.
Yeah. Which is not much money.
No, it's not.
And culverts, is that something
Culverts.
we didn't do this year?
We were down to guys. so-
They probably just didn't get to it because of us.
Yeah, that's again one of those things where
Like it's hit and miss.
if we,
Yeah.
if they needed to replace one or whatnot, then have the money there, they may not have, or they may be funded by the project.
What are the signs? Like what
Stop
signs?
signs.
The sign, like when you're
Okay,
going
so
up
it's
there,
like, what
when you're going
signs
up
are
there
we
by
talking
John
about?
Sindorf's and you got those arrows that tell you that's a turn right there.
Okay.
Those signs,
All
or
of those.
maybe the
Okay.
sign
I'm like,
that
what
says,
signs?
Buttermilk Lane, or, slow down, corner ahead, I don't know, stuff
I
like
don't
that.
pay attention to those, I guess.
Yeah. I think, those types of
Sounds like
signs.
sitting here like, I don't know what kind of signs we could possibly be.
Speed limit signs, posted signs,
That makes sense.
that would be my
Here's your
thought.
signs here.
Yeah, time to go home.
It is. So I think that brings us to the end. Patty, is that correct? We've covered every line?
I think we
I
have.
think so.
Yeah, so just, regular next meeting is January 19th, but we also, the budget committee has a meeting with the school,
Yep.
January 12th at the school.
Our public
6:30.
hearing. Wait, that's the public hearing, right?
Yeah, that is what we're public hearing, right?
We
So
gotta make sure
that's-
we get that posted.
Yes, you do, because,
We have 7 days though, so you can post it January 5th, and we are within our 7-day timeline.
Sunday doesn't count as a day.
Yes, it sure
does?
does. If you read the RSA for budget committee,
Oh, okay.
it does.
Oh, okay, no, I was
Yeah.
just curious.
Oh, yeah. I looked into
No,
it.
that's good, because I think.
Only for budget committee though, everybody else it's like,
Yeah, because I
all-
think planning board, we had to, because we
Yeah.
have a public hearing on the 8th for the planning board to go over those zoning ordinances.
Yeah, because it counts the day you post it, and then it counts the weekends too.
Which is interesting, because Kate, when we were talking to planning board, doesn't count the day you post or the day of.
Right. And that one does, and so,
You know, why different rules for different things makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
Does it
and,
count-
and the planning board has to have a meeting every single month too.
yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the budget committee doesn't. The budget committee just has to meet once a quarter, really. Just
For
saying.
that, school meeting, Heather requested that, if there's any information, additional information that they need for that we need for that night.
Yeah.
To send it to her. So if you guys think of something, let me know, and so I can get an email out to her quickly.
I will also have it noted that we do not have to vote that night.
No.
Even though that's what the email stated.
No, it's your budget. Huh? It's your budget.
Yeah, we do not have to vote that night. If we are,
Yeah, because I think there's been, some information has come to light since that last meeting that they held on December
the 17th
the
or something like that.
17th, where I think there's been some information that's kind of interesting that was held at that meeting.
Well, because the budget committee has until the 20th to even hold our first public hearing, and then we have to have everything turned into the school by the 22nd, and then the school has to have it to the state on the 26th. That's not our problem.
Right.
So we don't have to vote until the 19th if we so choose.
Which is your next meeting, your next.
Our next regular,
meeting.
and also if we decide to, not vote or whatever on the 12th and we want to extend it to the 19th, we do not have to repost for a public hearing. It's a continuation. We don't have to do anything for that either. Just so you know.
If you don't get through, if you
Or we
don't
can
get
choose
through
to.
as what you're calling your.
Yeah,
public
if we don't vote or whatever, and we decide, and we vote to like continue it for the following Monday, we do not have to repost or anything.
No, I mean, if you get through your public hearing, that doesn't still mean you have to vote.
Right.
You
Yeah.
just need to take public input, and then from that, you could choose to vote, but if you don't choose to, but you don't need to post as a public
No.
hearing or anything.
For the
just as a
19th.
regular-
Right.
Right, correct. You just need to post that as a regular meeting.
Yep.
Right.
So can I just add something, and this is kind of a little bit off topic, but we're creating a budget right now for 2026, calendar year 2026.
For the town.
For the town.
For the town, that's going to get voted on
Mhm.
in March
Yep.
of 2026.
Yes.
So we're 3 months into a
Yeah.
budget before, that we're planning for,
Yep,
and a quarter of the year has already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, you're not even supposed to spend it, but
right. You're only supposed to be spending what needs to be spent, like
Yeah.
payroll, you know,
Okay, 8:35.
payroll, electricity, heat, whatever. You're not, shouldn't be spending anything above and beyond.
yeah.
Can we not change this?
But
That we're budgeting?
That's just the way that
That's the way it is.
the way that we can't
control
do
when
anything
elections
about
are.
Yeah, that is something that's
It's all
set by the
set.
state. And then, well, not only that, the school budget that we're working on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we're official. Yeah.
Okay.